It may just be a, so this is our closing Zoom, and it may just be the small few of us, and that's okay too. Um, some things that I want to talk about today. I want to do some light housekeeping real quick, just so you guys know. Um, if you go into the topics tab and go to program schedule, I believe that is where, no, if you go to Zoom recordings, that is where Kathy is putting all of the video recordings on the private YouTube channel for you guys. So that is under Zoom recording. That YouTube channel will stay up because in a week or so, I'll have to delete everything off the cloud from the actual group. But that's why she builds the YouTube channel every year, so you guys can go back and rewatch as you need to. Really, really good to go back and rewatch stuff, and good to go back and do some of the Reiki and the energy cleansing and all of that. Another thing is, uh, I may try to hold a class at the end of January, 1st of February. To be quite honest with you guys, I am, and to be transparent, I am currently picking up outside work because I depend on word of mouth for advertising. I don't advertise for private clients and for classes, and enrollment has been down. And so I'm going to have to take some of my energy and focus it on working these side jobs so that I can sustain myself financially. So, anybody that you guys know that you think would benefit from private coaching or classes, please, please, please. And I'm so bad at word of mouth on myself, but please, mention my name to them. Again, I'm not for everybody. I'm okay with that. But I will probably wait and hold off on some classes for at least a couple weeks. And when I do, and I'll probably post in for you guys first with classes because you're the most up to speed and you guys are the ones that are wanting them right now. Also that I am going to take a couple weeks just to be able to focus on getting things financially planned out here. Any energy you guys want to send that way would be great. Tom has 8,000 resumes out, but for some reason, Florida is just not big on, like, they're horrible, aren't they, Bernie? They're horrible with like getting back to you. You know what I mean? The whole process.
Florida is the worst. When I moved to Florida, I could not believe that people just don't get back to you.
They don't. They don't. And it's funny because they're all crying about a worker shortage. I'm like, there's not a damn worker shortage down here. He's put out literally, he has 30 years of restaurant management experience, And so if you guys would send some good vibes to that would be great. Other things housekeeping wise, let's see. Eventually I will archive the group. That means that you won't be able to post into it. But you'll be able to still go back and read everybody's posts. Okay. I'm trying to think. I should have written all this down, but I really did not because I've been, like I said, organizing everything today in the house. What else? Warrior Week. I did want to let you guys know I'm going to be opening registration for Warrior Week. Angie went to Warrior Weekend. We're extending it this year to Warrior Week. So instead of 3 days, it's actually 6 days. That is from June 11th through 17th. When I post registration, I'll post early registration for last year's returning people and for you guys. So you guys will have first dibs on spots. What that looks like for those of you who don't know, it is 6 days, complete all 3 meals, and lodging is included in your package. And this year we are having, I believe, 3 mediums come. So Rachel's is contemplating joining us. Terry Collette is contemplating joining us. And of course, Kat will be there, and she'll be a little bit more lined out this year, technology wise. So what the rest of that week looks like, it's not your normal retreat. So we're not doing yoga. I mean, if y'all want to do yoga on the beach, go for it, whatever you want to do. But it's at a private mini resort where we have a pool and a game room, and what are we, Angie? It was like a block. We were about a block away from the beach, would you say? Okay, so we're
Yeah.
about a block away. It's a great place, isn't it? The resort is just set up so cool, and it's all just warriors. Um, and it's not too far down from like John's Pass, little touristy places. But what that looks like, it is a week where we simply learn how to create and cultivate joy and enjoy. It's really kind of like a big party, isn't it, Angie? Quite honestly, it's like a big party. So,
Yep.
we dance, we dance, and we do have cocktails, and some people go to the beach, and we do little crafts in the kids' names. There's a craft table where you can just come and go and do your thing. We set up a shell memorial for the kids out on the beach. Last year we did these amazing floating lanterns that Chrissy had brought, and I'm going to secure those. I think some of you may have gotten to see the video of that. So that is June 11th through 17th in Florida at Indian Rocks Beach, which is just along our stretch of Gulf beaches, of course. It is at a place that, like I said, it's private. The units are set up as they're like, what are they? They're like 2 and 3 bedroom units. They're apartment units basically. So we do sleep multiples, of course. There are limited number of seats. I think we have approximately about 26 seats. All of your lodging, all 3 meals for all 6 days are also provided. And this year it's a little bit more expensive because we expanded from 3 days to 6 days. So it's $870 for 6 days of lodging and 3 meals for each of those 6 days. So
That's very inexpensive for 6 days with your food.
in Florida at a resort with a pool a block from the beach, it's extremely inexpensive, extremely inexpensive. So the fellowship is great. Angie, did you want to tell them about last year, what you experienced last year? Did you find it healing and fun? And
Oh, I found it very healing and made some very close friends. And Nikki and Tom cooked all of our meals, and they were great. Some shopping. I got a tattoo. It's Turk's initials with a semicolon and warrior. It says warrior with an arrow. Couple of us got tattoos. Yeah. I had a great time.
yeah, it's just a great time. It's a place where you can come and you don't have to tiptoe around because everybody else there has a quote unquote dead kid too, right? So you can laugh, you can cry, you can be wherever you're at any given moment with people that are going to understand that. The energy we bring together, the collective energy is powerful. Um, some quite amazingly hilarious moments, like me running into a sliding glass door when I'd had a little bit too many cocktails. That was a good one to get to watch for those of you that missed that. But what that looks like is you don't have to pay the full $870 up front. I handle all of the financial stuff with the resort and with going to get the food and preparing food. Tom and I do all of that ourselves. So payment plans are available with a $200 deposit to hold your spot is non-refundable though, because that's immediately what goes off the top and it goes straight to the resort as that deposit. So, and then we work out the payments for the rest of the time. So I wanted to give you guys a shout out about that because I won't open that up to the big group for probably 2 weeks. But for those of you that are really engaged in your healing, you're committed to your healing, and those that came last year, I want you guys to have first dibs on spots. So I know some of you guys are in Canada and it's less cost effective for you, but that's another reason that I try to keep it as inexpensive as possible. That way, and Rebecca, come on over, hop the pond, Rebecca, come on over. Oh, there's Debbie. Debbie was there too. You've been all 3 years, haven't you, Debs?
Yep.
Yep. Debbie's an old school. She's an OG warrior with Warrior Weekend. So, those of you that are across the pond or up in the sticks of Canada, You know, if it's something that you do want to put on the docket, let me know. We'll figure it out. I can tell you guys the airports. We have a gal that does run an Uber. She drives Uber down here. She's a warrior mom. And so she usually gets, you know, we usually recommend that you Uber with her back and forth from the airport, but it's a great time. And I just want you guys to be aware of it and have first dibs on spots. Okay. What else? I think that's all as far as housekeeping goes. Oh, if you guys want private sessions, you know, I do private sessions with some of you. If that's something you're interested in, don't forget that I put a $50 off an 8-hour package in the holiday program. Okay, an 8-hour package usually runs $550. Makes your individual sessions, I don't know, what is it, 55, 65 piece? I'm not even sure because you know me and numbers, but it gives you a price break on those. So if you're wanting a private session package, don't forget to use your $50 off coupon and remind me when you message me if you want one, if you want a package, if you want to sign up for a package, remind me that you have that. Okay. Other than that, that's all I've got. I want to thank you guys for trusting me this holiday season to facilitate and walk with you. I always think the holiday program is just such a blessing for all of us because we can have fellowship and community and learn so much from each other. What I want to talk about today is I want everybody to tell me what their biggest takeaway from the program has been, because that's huge for me. It lets me get feedback of where I've helped and maybe areas that I haven't helped so much with. I'll post about needing feedback too in the actual holiday group. I also want to know, for those of you that have your boards or are working on your boards, I want to know what those look like. I want to know what your main mantra is going to be for 2022 and your intentions. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So who wants to go first? I can go first, actually, I guess. I have not had time to do my board. I'll be quite honest with you guys. I have no idea where glue is even at in this house right now. So, you know, all I know is where the packing tape is. So I haven't got to do that yet. Tonight is a new moon, just so you guys know, so you can do more releases if you want. I am working on this year. My main goals are going to be working on releasing abundance blocks that I have about being deserving, and being able to balance being humble, but not overly humble where it becomes detrimental to my financial well-being, because I'm really, really bad about that. I get the martyr syndrome sometimes. I used to call it Mother Teresa syndrome, but then I found out she was actually a millionaire. So it's not Mother Teresa syndrome. Setting boundaries with myself, that it's okay for me to also set up a boundary, that I have to take care of me before always taking care of everybody else within my scope of work. Because of late that's got a little bit laxed, and I've gotten I've gotten not great feedback about it, that I'm not being attentive enough. And the fact of the matter is sometimes I can't be attentive to everybody else. I have got my own stuff I have to take care of here on the earth plane, as you guys all know. So back to self-care for me a little bit more, boundary setting. My mantra is probably going to be I'm healed of all fear-based thoughts, because I have some surrender that I'm working through with just what our life is looking like unfolding wise. So that's kind of what I'm working on. My intentions are to get back on keto, because I feel so much better when I'm on keto. And quite honestly, the last month, it kind of sucks that I fell off of that, because my body hurts, and it hurts more than it would hurt if I wasn't inflamed from all the junk I've been putting into my body. So it's to get back on keto. I'd like to, I know it's cliche, but I want to get back working on my physical endurance and my physical strength and that sort of thing, because I've never really had to do that. And in the last, and grief did a number on my body, muscle wise, a lot of muscle atrophy and such. And so I want to get my body back. I want to start roller skating again. You know, maybe I can do roller derby again eventually. I don't know that I'll ever get in that good a shape again, but it's worth a shot. So mine are more, I would tell you, mine are more kind of earth realm focused this year because I'm learning how to be more earth focused. Of course, stay committed to my daily spiritual practice. Try some different adventures out. Those are things that I'm wanting to do. I want to try air. Have you guys seen this bungee cord, these bungee strap aerobic things on Facebook? I want to find one of those to do a class. I think that would be so cool. I have a yoga trapeze. I want to get it hanging and see if I can start using it. So those are some of my intentions for the new year. They're kind of blasé and kind of, cheesy, but mine are mostly earth focused. So that's where I'm starting at this year. And to get this house organized and to get my yard planted, So that's kind of what I'm looking at. So who wants to go next?
I will.
Go for it, Caroline.
All right, I'm unmuted. I did not finish my board,
That's okay.
but yeah, you know what it is, and one of my, like, it's a big deal for it to be okay with me that I did not finish, because what happened to me is you guys know, like, I started to say I used to be an artist, but I am very creative, but I've not. But I got so many ideas and so many racing thoughts. I mean, cool, into so much that I couldn't even, like manic kind of artist kind of thinking like, whoa. And I was like, stop, Caroline, just stop.
Yeah.
And my experience is you can create some pretty cool things if you can channel it right. But anyway, I have all kinds of intentions written down, and I know, but I'm giving myself time because I want to make something that's beautiful to me, that's on a, like, here's the bet. This is maybe the base of my, I don't know. And I probably cut out 100 pictures and probably 200 words that inspired me in different ways. But anyway, these are my intentions. I want to go back to college so that I can finish my bachelor's degree. So I want to try to take some steps to start that. And that's been a big thing for me for a long time. It's just important to me.
Good.
And then I want to do things to like develop my psychic abilities more, which that can, and to meditate like on a more formal kind of deeper basis. Maybe do some yoga. I think I'm ready to get maybe a pendulum or the dowsing rods. And I really, I was gifted, Zeke gave me runes for Christmas. Nice. So yeah, I'm excited about this. And then I wrote down different ways that I can do that. Free resources, utilizing. Kat told me I could utilize her anytime.
Absolutely. And one thing I was going to let you guys know, for those of you that are wanting to develop psychic stuff, Kat very well may be doing development circles soon. And for beginner development, so she can kind of have people to work with and help. That will probably be something free that she offers. So she'll be down here at the end of the month, and she and I are going to go over some stuff that we want to do with the group. So absolutely, Caroline, use her. That woman is a plethora of information from every dimension and universe.
Yeah, her and I talked like 2.5 hours on the phone. That's the longest conversation I've had since Zeke left his body, like on the phone.
She knows a lot. She knows a lot. And for me, I ground her. I'm like, come on back down here.
Yeah. I got it. Almost Kat and I talking is almost too much. Like I had to make, it's like, come on back down, Caroline, because and she lives close to me too, like hour and a half, probably. So,
She'll be a great resource for you.
Yeah. But I also want to care for my physical body because I haven't. And for my physical appearance, because I have not cared. And that was going on before my son passed, and then after Zeke left, or not, what left his body, I just didn't give a fuck, y'all. I didn't give a fuck. So I want to get a haircut. I haven't had a
Mhm.
haircut. I think I'm going to get my nails done at some just girly
Ooh
things.
la la,
I'm
you gotta get
serious,
pretty. Hey,
yeah.
I get it. I get it.
It's because it's like me staying in my body, all the way in my body is a issue for me. It's always been an issue for me. And I think that those things would help me, and, walk or yoga, anyway, physical body stuff.
Yeah, I
Um,
get that. I
yeah.
get that 100%.
And then of course, honor my grief. So purge the pain and level up. And that's what honor my grief means to me, or whatever. And that,
Yeah.
that one of the first books I ever got was by that Alan Wolfett or Wolf, and he talks about honor your grief. And this is how you
Mhm.
honor your grief.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then, I just want to do some more creative kind of things like I used to do. I used to have a small, like, home-based company where I
Mhm.
sewed and painted and made baskets and sold my things. And
Nice.
yeah, I did. And I want to do that again. And then there is our house, which it's about time for me to pick out cabinets, but it's not really my home. It's my mother's home. My
Mhm.
mother's home, who she took out a reverse mortgage on, and she owes over 200 grand on. So I can't decide about this, is if I'm going to get excited about this or if I'm just going to be like, whatever, because and the time is coming where she's going to go to a nursing home. So that, unless I just walk away, it'll be my job to empty out that house. And
Mhm.
I don't know what that, I don't know. But
Okay.
and of course, boundaries are part of my physical body thing. And I'm getting better at understanding that they are not selfish. They're not mean. They're not hateful. They are not all the things that I've been taught all my life, that
Right.
is not true, that they are for my highest good. And
Absolutely.
and I'm like, that's becoming internalized in me. And I just
Perfect.
want to tell all y'all thank you, because I've had moments of joy this Christmas that I couldn't even
Yay.
fucking imagine that I would ever have that. Like last year, it had not even, Zeke left body November 13th. I was a zombie, I remember Christmas morning, I woke up and I was like, God, please, just help me get through this day and make it go quick. And I've never felt that way in my life.
Yeah.
So it's been very sacred and beautiful. And I've had a couple moments of full on grief waves. Like, I don't know if I've even had them that bad before. And besides that one time where I refused to feel it, which I don't know why I did that. I just didn't feel like it.
Because you're human. You're
I
like,
guess
"Damn,
so.
this is
I was like, no. It's just been a beautiful holiday, and it's just been a beautiful holiday, and I'm excited about what's to come, and it's just been beautiful. I'm really, really grateful. I had no idea,
Yay.
and I can
call
make
that
joy.
a huge win. Yes, you
Right.
can.
I can cry and
Absolutely.
grieve like crazy and still have moments of joy. They can both
Absolutely.
coexist.
Absolutely.
So it's been
Absolutely.
wonderful. Thank you so much it was a game changer for me. Game changer.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
That's why I
Yeah.
do what I do. 'Cause
Yeah. Game
I like
changer.
it being a game changer.
Yeah. It
I'm
has
so
been.
glad that you joined us. Yay.
Yeah.
Keep going. Just keep going.
I am. I'm going to probably put that's on the top of one of my sketch. Oh, here it is right here. Keep fucking going is on the top of one of my
Absolutely.
manic idea creative things.
I have a bracelet that says it that I used to wear all the time. Now it's packed and I have no idea where it's at.
Yeah.
So awesome, Caroline. Thank you
Thank
for sharing
you.
with us.
Thank you.
I'll tell you too.
Mute myself.
when I first did my first vision board, I did the same thing. I have like a stack of things like this I cut out, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm never gonna fit all this on there. So
Yeah.
it took me a while because I kept having to like, okay, Nikki,
Yeah.
weed it down to the basics. Weed it
Yeah.
down to the basics. Otherwise, I ended up doing 2. Otherwise, I would have had like 50 all over my walls, and I
Yeah.
would have just found myself overwhelmed. So just know
Yeah.
that that's not entirely not normal for some of us. Because when you
Okay.
start getting inspired and you get into that energetic momentum, it's like you can literally almost find inspiration in the smallest thing. You're like, oh, I got to cut that out too.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing at all.
It's the artist in me is stirred up, and that's good because I know that
Yeah.
will help me heal.
That is good.
You
Because I
know,
will tell
yeah.
you, I was a highly creative person. I would paint and sculpt and write, and I struggle with my creativity now. I
Yeah.
struggle with my creativity now. And it's something that I'm working on cultivating again because it
Yeah.
kind of fell flat in my grief. So I
Yeah.
get it.
All right.
Absolutely. Good stuff.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you. Who's next?
I'll go.
Go for it, Antonetta.
Just trying to, I put the, I don't know if you can see it, the board.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I actually had fun doing it yesterday morning. I came across a calendar. It was from a pharmacy, and it's all about like healthy living. So I
Ooh.
started cutting out all this good, just good points to incorporate in the vision board. So at the top, I put New Year, and I put with you in spirit. I got that from a Christmas card. And
Ooh,
what
good
I'm
idea.
starting it off as New Year, but with Massimo in spirit, always with me. I put at the top a healthy diet because I haven't been really eating healthy lately. A bunch of processed and sugary stuff around Christmas. So
Me
starting a
too.
healthier diet. I don't know how long that will last, but I'm gonna try. Seeds of hope. I plan to plant seeds of hope. Have hope for myself, but also
Yeah.
spread hope for others. I'm not sure what that would mean, but I always think about reaching out when I'm healthy enough to reach out to the sick kids hospital where Massimo was.
Oh, yeah.
And I envision like doing some kind of volunteering there.
Nice.
I don't know if I'm strong enough right now to do that, but
That's okay.
but eventually or hopefully that'll happen.
Yeah.
This one is yoga and healthy living, focus on mental health. So manage stress, anxiety, these kinds of things. And yoga is something that I used to do. It helps a lot with that, meditation and yoga.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do some connection writing, like automatic writing. So I'm planning to get the book that Debbie posted, Debbie Johnson, with automatic writing. So I'm looking forward to doing that. This one is just a picture of somebody being free. So I hope that I can feel free and healing and that sort of thing. At the bottom here, I have a picture of a dog because Francesco really one day wants a dog, and I'm thinking maybe we can look into that, like in the future with Francesco getting his new puppy or dog that he wants.
Nice.
Home, we are saving for a home, so I'm hoping that that'll come around soon for to move to a new home. And family, just spending time with family and being together and enjoying each other. And travel, so I don't know where to, but maybe somewhere like a beach or something.
You need to come to Warrior Week. It's at the
I
beach.
was thinking that too. It's on there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. Do you hang it on your fridge? Is that where it's hanging at?
No, this is just in the back of
Oh, okay.
little, no, this is the wall. It's
Oh,
it's
okay.
like- I'm in upstairs where it's kind of like an attic.
Oh,
That's why
okay.
the wall is like this.
Gotcha. I love it. So what's your mantra that you're gonna take in to use to focus on 2022?
I wrote something down. It just says there is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. Like to
Love it.
view things as like if they like instead of viewing it like negatively, try to see the positive out of things that might not seem
Yeah,
so.
the purpose
Try to-
in the pain and
Yeah. So
yeah.
positive to things. So try to be more
Awesome.
positive. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a shift into broader perspective. That's the shift into broader perspective. So that's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
What's your biggest takeaway from the program this year, Antoinetta?
I think it's that we're always connected with our loved ones. Our loved ones are always with us, and
Absolutely.
and also just everybody surrounding yourself with people who understand you and who have lived or living through what you're living through. It just it brings a lot of healing and comfort to know that you're not alone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. I think those are all wonderful points. And thank you so much for joining us again. I know this was your second year, so
Yes.
it's great to see you back and I dare say you're glowing a little bit today. So that's nice. Nice to see.
Thank you.
So-
Thank you so much, Nikki. I always enjoy coming to the holiday classes.
You're welcome. I'm so glad that you guys come. I'm so glad. All right, who's next?
I'll go next.
Oh my gosh, Brenda, I'm so proud of you.
Okay, I did a vision board actually, and it's mostly words.
That's okay. Words are powerful, man.
Words are powerful, and I don't even know if I could turn around so you can see it. It's just a little old thing. Wait,
That's all right.
oh, this way, that way, maybe.
Ew.
I'm not techie. I can't flip things around.
That makes two of us. I'm still learning how to do that part.
Mm-hmm.
Will you read some of it off to us?
Yeah, make your own adventure.
Oh, nice.
Keep living life. A lot of practices. Practice. Make sweet memories. Better connection. Stronger. Dream. Love. Discover joy. And he sees through our eyes.
Perfect.
And yeah, that's about it. I mean, better health. Because yeah, I think I gained 40 pounds since last year.
I think across the board, we've all got that one on our vision boards, better health.
Yeah.
Ah, these old human bodies, I tell you.
The first year was starve yourself, don't eat, and then now the second year is like eat everything in sight. So that's where I'm at.
You and me both, girl. You and me both. So what do you have one mantra that you picked out for 2022?
I do, and it's actually something that I've had hanging on my wall for the past 12 years, if not longer. It's funny that I overlooked it for the past 2 years. It's life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. And I love that it clicked for you right at the perfect time, even though you've had it all along.
Mantras. What the hell's my mantra? I'm like, oh, holy shit, right there it is in my face. But yeah.
So what's your biggest takeaway from class this year, from holiday program this year, Brenda?
Mostly, well, of course I love being with you all and it helps, but what I have to realize it's the surrender to people don't feel the way I do. There's nobody's going to feel the way I do, and I can't expect them to. And I think that's a lot. That's hard for me to let that go.
It is a hard one. I mean, I worked consistently on that surrender for many years. And it's part of the human experience, but there's so much freedom when you can get there. But man, getting there is a booger. It is a booger.
Yeah.
So,
and the fact it's, I don't feel like I have a very strong connection with my son like most Ians have, and I'm not quite sure what's keeping me from that.
well, I dare say, because I've worked with you enough in class, that I dare say your biggest block to that is the fact that you think that you don't have a connection to him like everybody else. So we're going to continue to work with that, taming that part of your ego self, because you'll say things and I'm like, I think I've messaged you before and I'm like, you just told me yesterday you weren't connected, but this is what you just said. And you're like, oh yeah. So,
I think that I start writing it down and then look back on it.
Do. Because here's the deal. It's, it's so subtle. I mean, it's such a subtle language that it's really easy for us to kind of, poo-poo it off and discount it. That's why do be writing it down, because then when your ego starts going, oh, Brenda, you're not connected like Nick is connected, gets its finger wagging in your face, you can go back and be like, listen here, this. That's how I did it, Brenda. I wrote it all down, and that way when my ego starts squawking, I would get that, get that book out and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's what you think? Like, what about this time and this time and this time and this time? And it's a really good, palpable way to tame your ego and to say, you know what, just because you're discounting your ego self, like my spirit knows. So I would highly recommend you start writing them down. Absolutely. It makes it a great visual tool for your ego, because your ego likes that stuff that's written in black and white on the paper, So yeah, that's an amazing idea to start doing.
And the other thing I just wanted to throw at you is I've only had 2 dreams of my son. And the first one, he was scared. And I had one last night that kind of rocked me a little bit. It's been probably a year and a half since I had that first dream, and I had one last night, and he wouldn't come to me, like he was in a distant. And I just wanted to hug him, and he just kept putting his head down like he was embarrassed or ashamed or whatever. But in saying that, I'm wondering if I brought that into my dream, because me and my son it was a bad night last night. Both of us are struggling with everything. And I don't know. I just hope that I didn't bring him into what I felt, because I did last night. I tell him every once in a while, and it's been a long time, that like he destroyed us. He destroyed the 4 of us, including him. And it's it's trying to get back on track, trying to find a new life, and it's, damn hard.
Mhm.
So yeah, I put the blame on him again last night. And then today I feel guilty because I had that, all that good stuff.
Well, number one, shift into your broader perspective about your guilt. Know that that's from your ego self, because he understands your limited perspective while also knowing the broader perspective. I mean, Britta, I cussed Lee. The first 2.5, 3 years, I didn't just dream. I mean, I didn't put it in my dreams. I was out in my yard like, listen here, you little son of a bitch. Like, do you know what you did? How freaking stupid are? I mean, he got tongue lashings, right? And sometimes I would actually hear him laughing at me saying, get it up, mom, bring it out, bring it, like throw it at me, throw it at me. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna throw it at you. So release your guilt with that, because he knows more than you, even about what you're trying to process through. The other thing about dream visits is I don't have a ton of dream visits from Lee. I used to beg him in the first 2 years for them, but I think he knew. In fact, I know now that he knew that if he came to me in this way, it would actually hinder my healing at that point, because I was already still missing him physically. And so when he did start coming, he didn't come in his body. He came in several different, he came invisible once, he came as a ball of light once, he came as a toddler, like he came in all these different ways. And one time, the first time I actually did see him in his body, Brenda, I had popped over there and he was going on a run, and I pop over there and I'm like, and he ran right by me and I'm like, hello, and he looked at me and he shrugged, he said, Mom, I'm busy. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I haven't seen your physical body in 1.5 years and you're too damn busy to stop and come and give me a hug or something. And he was like, I'm busy. Right. And I was pissed when I woke up. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And I spoke to my medium mentor at that point about it. And she said, well, Nikki, he's not missing you. He's around you all the time. So he was busy and you were like, hey kid, drop what you're doing and come to me. And it wasn't like, that wasn't conducive to what he wanted at that point. So it was kind of a neat perspective because I could let it go and not read into it. Another thing you guys have to remember about dream visits, when you're processing trauma, you will bring your own subconscious stuff into it. So even though it can be a dream visit, any dream visit that's kind of off feeling or feels negative or bad, what I account that to is, yes, they're there with you, but you're also bringing trauma in that you're trying to process and deconstruct. Okay. Don't feel bad about that though, because they know how the human brain works. They understand that these things are going to come in, and it's actually for your healing to be able to deconstruct them in your sleep and in your sleep state, right? So extend enough grace to yourself, Brenda, that really the kids are like, she's all upset about this, thinking I'm upset about it. I'm not upset about it. I'm just glad she's processing through it, and I'm going to be right there. So maybe he wasn't coming forward enough because he was allowing room for your trauma to be processed for what you guys are going through, but he still wanted you to know that, like, I'm right here. And sometimes they'll mirror, right? Because we'll kind of project onto them. So sometimes in the dream state, they will mirror what's going on with us so that we can have more clarity in our own healing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So kind of toy around with that and see how it fits. And I know it's easier said than done not to feel guilt, but remember, he knows all encompassing more than the little bit that you even know about what you're processing and feeling and healing, right? They have the clarity, whereas we don't always have the clarity. So give him a good tongue lashing. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He knows it. He knows it's part of your healing.
Yeah, his crossover day's coming up too in 2 weeks. So it's
So
they bunched together in 2 months.
yeah, and lots of cellular memory. So I know you're wanting to work on self-care. So let's throw in some more somatic stuff with it, Brenda. Revisit tapping. You guys hop in on some of Dave G's free breathwork classes. They are amazing, and he does that for free for women. It's specific to women. and he's got a great masculine energy, but it's a very welcoming energy. So it actually, I know Caroline experienced this too. It's really powerful that he's a safe masculine energy, right? So that's very powerful. And his name is David Gieselman. So he has a page you can follow, and then he will share links on that page to his free breath work. I can't remember. Caroline, you're in his free breath work for women's empowerment group, aren't you?
I have not been to the women's because it's Pacific time and it's like 10 p.m. my
Yeah.
time. I've been to the Saturday morning one, which is
Okay.
12 or 1 my time, Eastern Standard Time. But there were some men in it, but it was a small group and it was very sad. I mean, Dave keeps a tight ship of what I feel safe
does.
with him.
Yeah,
And I
he
have
does.
issues with not feeling safe with men. And I feel safe with him. You know, I do.
What's his last name?
Geiselman or Gieselman or
Gieselman.
yeah.
Let me see. I'll try to pull him up. I'll try to pull his page. You know how techy I am.
He's
so it
great,
takes a little
man.
bit,
I'll look
but,
him up.
Yeah, look him up, and I'll try to post it in the group. Brenda, the next few weeks, I would definitely step into some somatic stuff, because you're going to be physiologically processing that trauma. Tapping, breath work, dancing, stretching.
Mhm.
You know, you called it. You're like, this year's going to be my year of self-care. So guess what? Hop on the train. So
Yeah.
definitely with those milestone dates and anniversary, start with some somatic stuff, okay? And I post in the healing activities topic, there is some somatic work that you can do. I think I put some breath work in there. I put some tapping in there, and a few other things. So that way you can start kind of separating everything that's going on. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're
It's all-
welcome. You what?
It's always a joy to join these classes because, you know, it makes you feel that you're not alone and, you know, all that good stuff. So, and crazy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I'm
Thanks.
so glad you joined us again too.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Who's next?
I'll go.
I can go.
Oh my gosh. It's the last class, and Angie and Brenda are both stepping up to talk before everybody else. I'm amazed.
Oh, I'll show you my vision board here as I go. I just glued these on 10 minutes ago because I had to go to Walmart to get glue, because we tried to use wood glue and now it's all over our counters and all over our fingers.
Oh no.
So this is just talking about my new job that I hope to know about in the next week or two. I
Nice.
talked about cultivating joy. This is the steps to meditation. I don't think I need steps. I know what to do, but I thought it was kind of cute. Hoping to travel. I love Mexico, Punta
Oh,
Cana.
yeah.
Hoping to go somewhere. If not, Warriors Week will be my beach. Get back on my recumbent bike. I feel good when I ride. I call it my pedal bike. I feel good when I ride my bike, lift my dumbbells. Just some stuff here about being mindful, grateful, positive, true, and kind.
Nice.
I hope to start reading some of my books. I'm almost finished the James Van Praagh book, Growing Up in Heaven, and I have all Farah's books here too.
Nice.
And then just honoring, this is off Kirk's announcement my girlfriend made for me. She put his picture, his football picture, looks like he's jumping into the light.
Oh yeah. Cool.
And that was the saying on it. It just says, I honor you with every thought, action, and breath. So,
Love it. That's awesome.
yeah.
Very
So,
good.
yeah.
what do you think your mantra will be? Do you have a one set mantra or do you have a couple that you like for 2022?
Well, I mean, I have this little thing. I was thinking about that. The same, no death, no coincidences, love never dies. But I've had a little like mirrored serenity prayer that
Oh,
sits
nice.
here, but I read it and I'm like, I really, this is really like pertains.
Yeah. So you're kind of like Brenda, you had it sitting around and one just popped out at you and now it clicks. I love that.
Well,
that it-
I started dusting after putting the Christmas stuff away, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that really pertains to me at this moment. Well, at every moment.
I love that. So what's your biggest takeaway from the program this year, Angie?
I mean,
Is this
just
your first year? Were you in last year's?
no, I was a newbie last year.
Okay.
I started I kind of found you in September, 2
Okay.
years into Turk's passing. So I suffered 2 years by myself in the dark groups before I found you guys. And now I'm just, I just feel better participating, even if I don't say anything, just listening and what
Yeah.
everyone else is saying and doing just like helps. And
Absolutely. It's okay that you don't say anything. I just like to give you guys shit. You know that. It's my staff. I'm so glad that you guys joined us. So glad. And thank you, Peggy, for sharing those. Peggy just shared Dave's breath pages on, did you share it in the holiday program group, Peg?
Both pages, holiday and
Oh,
healing.
Wait, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, thank you for being with us, Angie. I always love having you guys, and we got to get to work working with the pendulum and stuff with you too, because we were going to do that last year, and then we both got super busy. So maybe we can make that a priority this year too.
Sure.
Yeah, awesome. All right, good stuff, ladies. We all look kind of like, oh, exhausted. Who else wants to go?
I can go.
Go for it, Rebecca.
I made mine because we don't have any magazines because any paper seems to get burnt by my husband in the fire. So I've been drawing, but it was so nice just colouring in like I did as a kid. But should I just go through what I've written on mine?
Yeah, and you know what? Do you have adult coloring books? You guys are highly therapeutic and healing. Rebecca, if you found healing and peace in coloring in your vision board, get some adult coloring books.
Yeah, okay,
Some
amazing.
adult coloring books. Yeah, I have a stack like this. My most favorite one is one that Bernie sent me, and it's a sassy one. She sent it to me last Christmas. It's inappropriate spiritual stuff, which is hilarious to me. So, like one of the pages says, "Get the fuck out of here with your nasty energy" or something. I don't know. It's a whole book of them. I love it. But adult coloring books or coloring in general can put you in the same brainwave state to some degree as meditation. So on days where you guys don't feel like you can really get into meditation, or you just are like, oh, I don't want to mess with the day, grab an adult coloring book and sit down and color. Like extremely therapeutic. So I'm glad that you did it this way, Rebecca, because you just opened up another tool for yourself, which will be really, really beneficial.
Yeah, it's really nice. So yeah, maybe I'll do. It's interesting hearing everybody saying that they gave up all their artwork and creative stuff, because that's what I did as well. So yeah, it's like a little foot back into it.
Exactly. Share it with us.
I will. So at the top, I have "Shut the Fuck Up, Ego," which is because that just dominates everything. So one of the big things I want to do is before Esme got diagnosed, I signed up to a Pilates teacher qualification. My friend basically made me do it, and I had no interest in doing it. But now my body is so broken. I think I'm just going to do it because I've paid for it. and I might as well. So I'm not doing it to become a teacher. I'm just doing it to repair myself, really. But
Nice.
I think it's quite a good way to be motivated. And socializing, like, because Esme passed 2 years ago, and I've basically been in isolation because of lockdown, or Esme just grieving, and then the 2 years prior to that she was in hospital. So I've not really seen anyone for 4 years. So I think it's time to kind of, I don't know, I'm nervous about it, but equally I feel ready. So I'm just going to be a bit selective about who I see.
That's a big step.
Yeah. And then connection stuff with Esme, keep going with that. It's quite big. And now I've started to trust it a bit more. I feel like it's got a bit of only this week. You wait till next week and I'll be like,
I know,
I know,
next week she'll be like, Nikki, I'll be like, Rebecca.
But yeah, to carry on with that. And I've been doing the book that Debbie recommended, which I think is so good, because I think it reiterates a lot of the stuff that you say anyway. So it's helpful just to kind of go over, stuff that we've learned in class.
Good.
So yeah, that's good. And then what else did I have? Do some more artwork. And then I was listening to Abe Hicks whilst I did this. So I've got lots of stuff about like thinking about my emotional guidance system more, and being more aware of what my point of calibration is, because I'm so overwhelmed by people around me, rather than kind of tuning into my higher self and Esme and stuff. So I know we've had sessions on this, but just being able to manage my own vibration and not get taken in by
I'll tell you,
my
that's
neighbor.
A hard one. Your neighbor,
Oh my God.
yeah.
It's so hard.
But here's the good news about it though, Rebecca. As soon as you learn to stand in your own vibration, not let him leech you down to his, he's going to become a non-issue. Like it'll be like, he's not even in my wheelhouse anymore. So even if he changes nothing, when you learn to stand in your own vibration, release the resistance to that you have right now, which is showing up as being pissed at him, that's when that's why every time you're like, Nikki, I don't know what to do, I'm like, you have to surrender. Like you have to surrender, because if you don't, he's gonna keep being an issue.
He's so annoying. So, he's really small and really odd looking. So I've been trying to pretend that he's like Yoda and he's like teaching me this next lesson.
He is. That's perfect. And I love that Rebecca always goes back and re-listens to the Abe Hicks stuff that hits for her. This is something that I did too, guys, for 3 years straight. It didn't matter if I'd listened to one of those lectures 50 times, I listened to it 1,000,000 times. If it was one that resonated with me and I really wanted to drive the points home, go back and listen, go back and listen, go back and listen, because you're going to take something new away every time, and it's going to fire up those new neural pathways, right, that you're digging, and it helps to dig them. So that's one of your strongest things, Rebecca, is that you're not scared to go back and revisit any of the truth and the truthful listening that you've discovered on your journey. And that's very, very powerful, you guys. So I love that you're listening to Abe.
It's so good, because you literally anything in your life, there are so many videos, you can Google it and there'll be like an Abe Hicks answer to it, even the most random stuff. But it is really good. I've started, I think you said it in your other Zoom, I've started writing out truth cards, everything now, like my neighbor and whatever. And that's been really powerful.
Good.
But
perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I've got loads of other stuff on there, mainly around surrendering, trusting, allowing, unfolding, all of that kind of stuff. That won't come as much of a surprise. At least I'm self-aware, right? I mean, I know what I need to work on.
Yeah, self-aware is the key, guys. Having that self-awareness is the key, because when you're sitting and you either won't own what you need to work on, or you can't see what you need to work on, that's even harder. But once you are self-aware to it, you at least have the direction to start walking in. So that's absolutely huge. Absolutely huge, Rebecca. Do you have one main mantra that you've picked out for 2022?
Yep. I release control and surrender to the flow.
Nice. That's pretty much one of mine for this year too. So
There's a song, Nikki, I have to post it. There's like a song, it's like 6-minute song, and she just says it over and over and over
and
again.
over and over. Post it, because I may have that one on my playlist. I have a couple actually that are kind of obscure and like that. So do post
Okay, cool.
it. Absolutely.
I will.
What about, okay, have you had takeaways from the program this year?
Yeah, like loads. But mostly around surrendering, on like all different levels to 3D stuff, but equally around soul contract stuff. I mean, I posted in the group, and thank you to everyone that has helped me. But stuff around like my younger daughter, it's all soul contract stuff. It's like the same thing every time. It's just surrendering. But it's just realizing all the different levels.
Exactly, because even where I'm
Yeah.
at now, I don't have to surrender to really anything to do with sleep now, but boy howdy, I do a lot of surrendering, a lot of minutes of a lot of days on 8,000 different earth things. You know what I mean? 8,000 different earth things. So it is, at the end of the day, surrender is the name of the game, quite honestly. And I wish it was as easy as saying, oh, I surrender. But unfortunately, there's a lot of work that has to go into it.
I never realized how much I control though, as well, just trying to control everything. So that in
Yeah,
itself
you
is,
know, I've always been somewhat of a free spirit, but I've realized in my healing journey that I actually I can be a control freak in ways that I never ever was self-aware of before, quite honestly.
yeah, same.
So I was like, holy crap, like maybe I'm not a free spirit. So
Yeah,
I
same.
understand. Yeah, yeah. I'm so glad you guys joined us. And I'm so glad that you hit milestones while you were in here with us, and that you're ready to hit the ground running this year.
Thank you. I'm so grateful for this. I know everyone says it to you, but I am so grateful. It's helped me so much.
Well, I'm grateful that you guys are grateful, and I'm grateful for whoever joins us whenever they join us. So, and of course, it's always a pleasure working with you and Esme. She cracks me up anyway. So, you know. Okay, who else? And Jess and Peggy, just so you know, we are going over, if you didn't get your vision board done, that's okay, but we're going over mantras for the new year, intentions for the new year, and takeaways from the program.
I can go next.
Okay, Deb.
So, I did not complete it, which is a big one for me because usually I will push myself.
I know. I'm so proud of you for not completing it.
I got everything like laying around my room, but I'm like, you know what? It's okay. It is really okay. Yep.
Absolutely.
But I have been like writing and because I seen how much last year, like I put it together last year because I needed to, that whole like perfectionist, I got to get it done. But really seeing how some of that kind of unfolded. So really wanting to take the time, just take the time to really have it really intentional to what I want to accomplish. So I've been writing it and then working with the guides of, what do I want this year to unfold like,
I love that.
Yeah. So I'm okay. I'm at peace with it doesn't have to be perfect and to take my time. I know. So
that's big surrender, Debbie.
Right. And so kind of, you're asking like what I took away from the group. I'll kind of start with that. Is the empower of attention, the intention, how important intention is, surrendering. I've been trying to keep everything together, healing everybody, trying to do it and not really letting myself just to unfold, let the pieces fall. So surrendering, these groups have been, the readings were nice, but Isaac's not one to really come through a lot, but these groups have been very amazing for me. And listening to everybody, how they're unfolding, and it's okay to unfold. It's okay to let go.
Absolutely.
Not to be in control. And that group we talked about friendships, of letting friends, because watching Isaac go through that, I lost people in my life, and then through Isaac's passing and through this again. And it's like just watching people and seeing how important this collective energy is. And so walking away, like when we end group, like feeling that pumped up energy because of our collective energy
Oh,
feels
yeah.
amazing. And how important I need to be mindful of that I want to start creating healthy relationships back into my life. And I got to be mindful of the collective energy I bring, because it's an even exchange, no matter if it's good or bad. When you're having an interaction with anybody, it's an even exchange, of I'm
Absolutely.
giving energy, they're giving energy back. So be careful with that. So that's been very important for me to learn in these groups of the collective energy, as you keep talking about. So that part's been huge for me. So thank you. So those are kind of those
Awesome.
big things I've taken back. So so my vision board, my intention for 22 is, the first one is healing physically and emotionally. And that comes through the big one was self-care, slowing down, resting, relaxation. Self-care is going to have to be number one. Meditation, automatic writing, channeling, learning to open up my third eye, emotional part of therapy of EFT and EMDR, maybe Reiki, somatic healing, and energy healing. And before I was starting to look up energy healing, I started getting that control thing. And I'm like, you know what? Wherever guides lead me of whatever energy modality I need, then that's where they're going to provide me.
Absolutely.
Kind of along with that is I'd like to do a few more medium readings. I haven't done the one with Kat, so hopefully it's not too late. But I put that
Nope.
I'd like to do.
Not too late.
Good. I'd like to do 4 medium readings, one with Kat, one with Kelly White, one with Farrah Gibson, and then I said I'd like the universe to surprise me with one. So
Nice.
I'm not sure what that one will be. To keep working on the Isaac Strong Foundation, improve being able to help more kiddos and families. Not sure how the universe is going to have to help me with this one. I need a different vehicle. My car is on its last leg, so I got to trust that they'll provide me with that. And working on the memorial garden for Isaac and my mom. We've been talking about that. To finally take a Disney trip, since we didn't get to do that with Isaac. I want to set that intention that he'll come with us and find us a way to get there.
Absolutely.
Along with what I was just talking about, relationships, I want to have, that's going to be a number one priority, is having good relationships with God, my guides, Isaac, trusting he's there, trusting he's got my back. I know he does. Improving that relationship with him and building positive relationships in my life with friendships, and trying to find healthy relationships into my life. I'm not creative. Everyone kind of talk about that, but I've used to be loved to organize. I kind of let that go. I want to start organizing again. Start organizing the house.
I think organization is a creative outlet. I truly believe that it is. And you can come down. I need a little bit of that right now. So fly on down.
I used to love to. I mean, when Isaac was going through treatment, obviously I couldn't control anything, but my husband's sock drawer, I swear to God, I would sit there and just organize it. Every time he opened his drawer, he didn't know what he was going to find, because I was like, I'm going to organize it this way and I'm going to do it that way. So, he was good about that. So it gives me a sense of I can control socks. I can, it sounds silly, but I can control how my towels look, things like that.
I think that's a wonderful creative outlet. And I think it's a great outlet because you are self-aware that is part of your earth personality, right? And so you can hone it into specific things instead of trying to control the whole. I think that's an amazing tool.
And I think it teaches me where I'm at, because I'll like organize something and then shortly later it gets messy again. And I'm thinking, why the hell does it keep doing that? Because I'm keep trying to heal the outside instead of the inside. And so every time I'm not healing the inside, the outside falls apart. And so I think it keeps teaching me, like, I can't maintain things if I'm not healing from the inside out. So it's a mindful thing for me. Like my house is kind of like, how's your house look? If it's a mess, it's because I'm a mess inside.
Exactly.
So
and that energy reciprocates too.
Versus when I'm doing okay, the house looks better. So, it teaches me. So I'm gonna have to find work eventually. But I didn't want to find a job, because I don't believe in that anymore after learning. I put soul work. I need to have income coming into the house, but I'm not going to do it just to have a job. I'm going to do it because that's what my soul is telling me I need to do. So I put down soul work is to figure out what to do.
Or let them lead you to it and let it unfold, right?
Exactly. Right. That's
Yeah.
why I didn't want to put a specific job. I didn't even want to write the word job. I just, whatever I'm led to. And it's got to feel
Perfect.
right to my soul's purpose.
Yeah.
So, eating right. I used to, when I was alive, I was really big into, y'all had to eat healthy and keto, like you said, and nothing processed, nothing in a box. And when he passed, when he left, I just like, I don't care. And I gained like 30 pounds this past year. Which my body is like, what the hell, woman? You know, I feel like I've aged 30 years. I literally cannot walk sometimes because it hurts so bad.
I know,
So
me too. I hate it.
yeah, yeah. I used to be able, I was the one that taught my son how to play football and stuff like that. And I can't even throw a
Yeah.
ball to him because it hurts so bad. So I need to start finding, I don't want to put diet. I want to put eating that serves my body, and physical therapy and exercise that serves my body. Not
Absolutely.
anything regiment like I used to, because you know how I can get that perfection. It's got to be just
Mhm.
whatever serves my body, you know, so
Yeah,
that I
I love
can
that.
keep my mind clear to connect with Isaac and my guides. So heal past wounds and traumas, let go of people pleasing, try to get my self-worth and self-esteem from others and fixing others and trying to be controlling, to let all that go, to increase my self-worth, confidence, make myself a priority, and start healing from the inside out, trust and let go. So
I love it.
those are all the things. And I didn't know about writing like your soul's truth, you know? So
Mhm.
so I sold a lot of you guys' stuff because you guys are awesome. And I'm like, oh my God, this is good stuff. I just want to quickly just say what my truth is because I'm so excited. So if I
Absolutely.
sold
Yeah.
from you, I'm sorry, but I love your
You
stuff.
know what?
So
You
um
didn't steal from anybody, Debbie.
but
That's
I was,
resonation, right?
it
That's what
was,
resonates. So
it
that's
was. I'm like,
okay.
oh my God, that I didn't never thought about like writing your soul's truth or your truth. So I
Yeah.
put there is no death. Death is nothing to fear. It's an illusion. It's just dropping your body. Our souls are connected to live on forever, connected to Isaac and my mom. Isaac's life, pain, and death was not a punishment to me or to be in vain, but to shatter the old and awaken and heal myself and others, to awaken my authentic spiritual self. He is my teacher and a gift in body and now in spirit. He is right here to help me grow and to help others. This is our contract, our soul purpose together. I will not let him down or myself down. This contract in life will not be for nothing. When our time comes to meet again, I want to feel ready to look him soul to soul. I want him to be proud of me for what I was able to accomplish, and I want to tell him that it was all because of him. I am more connected to Isaac now. He is happy and healthy. We are a team, and he is more powerful on the other side. We are both learning. He is helping me heal, grow, and help others. By healing and letting him help me, I am still parenting him as well. He is learning and growing and experiencing life through my eyes and my heart. This is how I honor Isaac. So that's
I
what I put.
love that so much.
So
Yay. That's
yeah, so
awesome.
it feels right. And um, Rebecca, I might have to steal your mantra. I kind of like that. That was pretty good. So and then Bernie,
Debbie,
I'm
I'll
taking.
send you my song.
Will you? I think that would be really good.
I will.
So,
I will. Debbie, will you post your truth in the group so I can steal bits of your truth?
oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, and then Bernie, I'm taking your mantra. I am the master of my body and mind. Where love resides, fear is a stranger. Love resides within me. So
Powerful stuff. I love it. Yay. I
So
have to tell you, where you were last year in the program versus where you're at this year, like,
wow.
cannot even begin to, like,
I know last year was like how the hell am I going to survive, and like just finding Isaac. And this year I was just looking, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not a ton about Isaac, it's more about
about
kind
you.
of, yeah, so yeah.
I
So
love it. I love
yeah,
it. That's
so
why I
it's
do what
thank
I
you.
do, to
Yeah,
see these transformations and watch you guys step into the light is
yeah, so
that's inspiring to me.
yeah, because
You know?
I need this group. I need everyone in this group. They've been inspiration to me. They keep me going. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'll go next.
Love it. Go for it, Bernie.
Deb, I have tears in my eyes. You have come so far, and everything you just said is just beautiful. You go.
Thank you.
Really, it's making me cry. I didn't glue anything on my board yet, but I cut out things. I have Your Time to Shine. Hope is essential. I think you always have to have hope. This should say,
Absolutely.
I need to move through my fear, which I'm doing. I'm working on that.
Mhm.
And that mantra is really, you know, and I know I said to somebody in the group the other day that I got it from Kat when she did my reading, and we talked afterwards, and it's helped me so much, so much. Points of light. Believe in something bigger than yourself. I love this one. I love
Me
that.
too.
Yeah, it's a good one. And you know what? I do my Spirit Junkie cards every day, and I picked a couple out because the difficult relationships in my life are the perfect mirror for me to look more closely at my own behavior.
Absolutely.
That one touched me. That one touched me. My high vibe thoughts create health in my body, peace in my mind, and love in my heart. That was another one I picked out. And then I want to go back to Maine and eat lobster. And this year, I want to either go to the Orcas Island, or I'm dying to go to the San Juan Islands and, you know, up around Washington. So
Nice.
a year of transformation, open-mindedness. I fought hard, I survived. So that's all stuff. I'll probably still do a little more, you know. It's been sitting here for days. I just keep cutting stuff out. I'm not good at drawing, so that's not going to happen.
I'm so impressed that you guys found things to cut things out of. Like, where are you getting these magazines at?
I have People magazine. I even went through my husband's Car and Driver magazines.
Hey, you find stuff everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
just little snippets. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. Is Tony doing one with you, Bernie?
No.
I'm surprised that he's
I know.
not.
I know. I might get him to. But anyway, what have I gotten out of the class? You know what? I need all of you to keep me going. You know what I mean? To inspire me. I love reading the gratitudes and affirmations because I find them so inspiring, you know. Some people just have way with words. I don't think I do, but you know, that really inspires me. And I find that I need classes to keep me into going further to where I want to be. You know what I mean? Sometimes if I'm not in class for a couple of months, you know, I slack off here. I'm not doing my, you know, grounding here. I started doing grounding in the shower, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. You know, I still get out.
Grounding and cleansing in the shower is very, very powerful.
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, I'm enjoying that. What do I want to do for the year? I have a lot of stuff, a lot of intentions for this year. I would like to surrender more. I know I could shift, and sometimes I can shift quickly, but I think I need to work more on that, on my shifting. I have to work definitely more on the mirror issue. You know what? I have a lot going on with my family and health issues, and I know that they're only going to get worse, and I need to have more patience. I really do, because it's just not easy, you know, and I don't want it to be where I'm dwelling on it all the time, but I have to get to a place of surrender. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I know I need to be there for two of my sisters that, you know, I said, one of them's got dementia, the other one's got that frontal lobe thing, and she's like really freaking out. And I just want to smack her sometimes. Sometimes I just do not have the patience, you know, and then I have to remind myself she's sick, Bernadette. You know, she always thought that she was in control, but she's just out there now. And I really have to pray for patience and surrender. So that's something that I want to work on this year. And boundaries too, Bernie. Yes, thank you, Peggy. That's a big one too. So I'm looking forward to this year. I'm looking forward to new adventures and diving deeper into my spiritual being. And
Mhm.
I love being with all of you. I really do. Makes me feel good. And thank you, Nikki. Ouch, ouch,
You're
ouch.
welcome. What'd you do?
I just,
Oh, did you cut your
my
you
nail
hit
went
your
under
cut?
that.
Oh,
Sorry. It's okay.
breathe, breathe, breathe.
Anyway, I'm always happy to be in class. It gives me encouragement. It gives me hope. It soothes me. And New Year's Eve, we were at a friend's house. There were 4 couples, and we all had to pick a card from this envelope and read the question and answer it. It was like, what have you found this year? And I know I spoke about this before in the group, because I'm 63 years old and I was never peaceful. It's been over a year, I think, that I am peaceful in my heart. And wow, that's a biggie for
That's
me.
huge. Yeah,
And it's
that's
because of
huge.
you and everybody else in the group. So thank you.
Thank you. And you guys, I take a lot away from classes too. I mean, I'm here to facilitate it and drop shifts and tidbits, but you guys all inspire me to keep working on my growth and healing in whatever context it is, because I still have days where I'm like, fuck it, I just want to like go to the beach and not worry about healing or growing anymore as a human being, blah, blah. I just want to be a normal sleeper, right? So you guys also hold me accountable for my continued growth and my continued shifting and my continued self-awareness and my continued, looking at my own ego self and where my wounds and my shadow work. So I want to thank all of you for that as well, because everything that you guys are saying towards the class and each other and me, I reciprocate that back to you, because this isn't just a job for me. I was pulled into it really kind of kicking and screaming. You guys hear me say all the time, I'm still freaking amazed that people pay me to do this. Like, I'm always like, what is going on? I don't understand what's happening, but I've surrendered to it. So just know that I appreciate all of you and the trust that you have in me to facilitate these spaces, just as much as you have in me for coming into them. So thank you too. Thank you.
You know
too,
what,
Bernie,
Nikki? You
and everybody.
you just have the words. I think that God just gives people the right words sometimes to, how to explain it, just
Well,
the right
yeah, I
words.
mean,
That's all.
they're
I'm
not
going to leave it
yeah.
at that. I'm
A
going to leave
lot
it
of
at that.
times, the information that verbally comes out of my mouth is information that's getting downloaded as I speak. I am fully aware of that, because in 2 hours, a lot of times when we're really in the flow, I won't remember what we've discussed until somebody messages me and says, hey, Nikki, you were talking about this. And then it's like, oh, click, blink, and then it comes again. So I think you're right, Bernie. I think you're right. That's one of the things I give thanks for, is the fact that I can be a channel sometimes for this, and I don't have the discernment to know maybe who it is. I just know it's higher knowledge than probably what I float around with on a daily basis. But yeah, so I feel privileged and humble in that. And for a long time I was like, who is it? Who am I? Who's coming down? And you know what? I don't even care anymore. As long as it's healing for me and healing for all of you, then I can live with the surrender of not having to pinpoint, exactly who's doing the talking.
Yeah. Well, thank you. You're a blessing to me. So is everyone else. Thanks.
Thank you, Bernie. Thank you. That means a ton. It means a ton from all of you. And are you noticing how much more graciously I'm receiving these things? Like, that's been my work this last year. I'm being more graciously receiving of these words. I'm not deflecting them as much. Pew, pew. Who else? Thank you, Peggy. Peggy knows. Actually, y'all know. Anybody who's worked with me knows that I'm like, you're welcome. That makes me feel weird. Who's next?
Well, I can go. I don't know
Go for
who's,
it.
well, gone before me, but anyway.
That's okay. Just jump in.
That's pretty much what I'm doing these days, just jumping around. So what I get from these groups, especially the Christmas one, is like essential. And what I'm taking with me is my learning, my healing, the strength of everyone's help and healing. I wrote down my board, but I don't have a board to put this on, so I'm just going to read it to you. All these gifts that you all collectively have given me, love, hope, faith, music and dance, Bernie, kindness and compassion, peace and patience, self-care, signs and connections, meditation, grounding, surrendering. I have on here twice. That's a double for me.
We're all getting the surrender tattoo is what I'm hearing. We're all having the word placed on our physical body somewhere.
Yeah, I think so. Boundaries. What I want to do in this year coming up is, of course, travel, because I love to travel. Work on forgiveness. I want to take more pictures because I love taking pictures. I want to use that the whiteboard Kat was talking about, and to wipe out shit that doesn't serve me. Want to send pink light to whoever I see needs it, and watch how that works. I want to be even more connected. I want to do more meditating. And I have to do that on the bottom of the list, shadow work. So
That's why everybody's always like, let's do a shadow work class. And I put it up and then everybody's like, oh, do we really want to do that? And then I'm like, never mind.
I know I need to, but I really don't want to. But I definitely do need to. I see where surrendering and boundaries have changed my life in the past year. And I'm doing a lot of work. And oh, and I also need to finish Mikey's room. I started it and then wound up in the hospital, so it didn't get done, but it's still there for me. So yeah, hope to do that this year, hopefully.
All right.
But
And if you do, you do. And if you don't, there's the year after. So that's okay too.
Yeah, it might be like the attic, just there forever. But yeah, thank you everyone for your sharing, and for walking this journey with me, because I don't know if I'd still be here if I didn't have hope and healing. And that's what you've all been to me, and I hope I've helped somebody along the way.
Absolutely.
So want to do more manifesting good things. Work with the crystals and try to keep my chakras open. So yeah, I feel connected. I always feel connected with Mikey, and I'm working on the relationships that I have on Earth.
I understand that one. Yeah, I get it. I get it. It's like that. The one with leave is easy now. Right?
Yeah. As hard as that is to agree with. Yeah. Because he's really slamming on the lessons,
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we're all aware of, in my family here, we're all aware that Mikey's still very much relevant and still very much here,
Absolutely.
which is awesome. I know he's watching over Chris and Walt and Lauren and my grandchildren, my mom, and
Absolutely.
he's got a lot of work to do.
He signed up for some big business, didn't he?
He's probably like, Ma, no, shut up already about it, But, so thank you everyone. And,
Thank
hope
you for
everybody-
joining us.
Yeah, it was awesome. Very, very great. Loved having all the readings were fantastic. And yeah, so somebody else go now. Thanks.
And we'll talk about that too. In the next few days, I'll still be posting a few things. I have one more giveaway to do. And for those of you that have, your names have been drawn, I haven't mailed anything out yet because like I told y'all, Nikki does not do well with the post office around Christmas. So, but I will get them mailed out. But I'll have one more giveaway to do. And okay, Rebecca, you're welcome. We love you. And I also want to get ideas for what you guys want next year, what you want more of, what you want less of, because I like to tailor classes and programs to what you guys need the most. One of my surrenders is I'm in constant worry that I'm not giving you enough. I'm not giving you enough resources. I'm not giving you enough time. I'm not giving you enough tools. And so the feedback on what you guys do want to see and what you need less of or you need more of, that helps me tailor these to your needs, okay? Because I always want to be able to bring that to the forefront of the table, okay? So absolutely, I appreciate any of that feedback like that, Pegs, absolutely. All right, Jess and Debbie Wallace, you're the only two left.
I can go, Nikki.
Okay, okay, Jess.
Hey, my hair's crazy today. It's like cleaning craziness. I don't know. Holiday
okay.
nuts.
We'll forgive your curly fire hair.
Oh my God, it's a mess right now. So, I don't know I don't know what's happening. But anyways, I would say, like, I'll start off with just some of the things I've really taken away from class. There's been some, like earthquake shifts in my life. Like, and I haven't been as active in class, but I'll tell you what, like, I am behind the scenes checking in. I've been crazy with family. There's been a lot of family stuff that's going on, stuff with my sister that's been, all the background of that, like the falling out with her and my mom. And so I've just been like insanely busy, but there's been such incredible shifts in my life that like, were just so instrumental in the conversation I had in class when I was losing my mind again, just at the bottom. And I think what I really learned from that specific one where, the whole feeling of like, I don't want to be here, all of that crap that I've dealt with most of my life. It removed like such a layer of that for me. Like huge, Nikki, like to the point where I'm like, it might come up again. It's very possible it could. So I don't want to say it'll never come up again. But I think the cool thing about it is like, it removed a huge layer of, I don't want to be on earth anymore. And that's a big win, like a major win for me. The other thing I also came into like understanding is I've been in EMDR since May, and she has yet to address the initial trauma of what happened with Uriah. And she's been working on all of my other stuff, and which I've been fine with, but I'm also at the point where I'm like, how much more of that do I want to keep digging up? And I believe in shadow work. I believe in all of that, but I also think it can get to a point where you're like, you know what, that's just a part of my story, period. Like my trauma, my abandonment, all the shit that happened to me as a kid, then into, early adulthood. Like, I don't know how much more I want to go digging around in all of that.
Well, and just with shadow work, you can do shadow work without digging into full-blown past trauma. Like you can just really look at the pieces you have as a result of whatever it's been that you've been through and say, okay, I have an abandonment issue, I have a self-worth issue, like how can I deconstruct these, change the narrative and move forward at that point without going into specific details of things that happened when you were 2 or 4, or you know what I mean? So I
Totally.
think that's good. You're seeing what boundaries you want to set and what's good for your therapeutic healing, because it's just like, you know, if you have a therapist or an MDR therapist or you're doing brain spotting or whatever, you're still the one seeking help.
Mhm.
And you can set the boundary and say, you know what, I feel like this is becoming more detrimental to me than helpful. And
Yeah.
so I want to see if we can shift this therapy in a different direction, right? So
Totally.
I think it's huge for you, because using your voice to be empowered in your own healing instead of letting somebody else guide it, that's a powerful thing. It's an
Yeah.
extremely powerful thing for people that haven't used their voice, right? Which is
Mhm.
something you've been working on. So I think that's amazing. I
Yeah,
think that's amazing.
it's been a big deal. Like I feel like, oh, I'm in charge of this, just like what you were saying. It's like, oh, I'm the one that like is running the show here. Like,
Right.
I need to get what I need to get out of this. And when it's not working, when it was working, I made a lot of huge revelations and connections of like, fuck, like that's why I'm doing that. Like, oh my God, I don't want to do that anymore, you know? And
Right.
so that's been, I don't negate like the good that's come out of it at all. But I also like, I feel like, okay, I'm coming to a point where looking at the trauma too much is freaking me out. And then it's also not allowing for this. It's like almost being in darkness too much. And
Mhm.
I need to like figure out the transmutation of that. And so I've really been doing that since we talked, and you and Kathy like really spoke to my heart, like really saw me and really helped me like shift out of all that. And it allowed, just doing that has birthed so much healing. I feel like I've been on a jet spring right now, you know. Sometimes it gets dark before it gets light, and it's been like, whoa, like so many things have been happening. Like I celebrated Christmas for the first time since Uriah passed.
Yeah.
Totally had a good time, like really enjoyed myself. We laughed our heads off. We cried a bit, but like, I just knew he was with us. Like I didn't feel like I had to get a sign. And signs came, you know?
Right in your knowing.
Dude,
Woo-hoo.
totally. Like, and some of the signs we got were fucking insane, Nikki. Like a light show in the middle of a cornfield up in the sky. And I'm like, what's going on? And my daughter was laughing. She's like, well, there's Uriah, Mom. You know? And I mean, the sky was red and green and purple. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like, this is nuts, you know? And my daughter doesn't believe in signs, you know? So there was stuff that was happening that was just like, wow, you know, just total wow moments. And so much to even like daily this stuff was going on and I wasn't even asking for it, you know? And
Yeah.
So that was beautiful and cool. And I just feel so grateful, you know, for that. And then my sister and I have reconciled, which I swear I never thought would happen in a million years. Like I really didn't think that was going to happen. And dude, like I have so much love for my sister. Her and I were close when we were young. I think we had an unhealthy relationship, but I was more like a mom role in her life. But when we had a falling out, that felt like death, man. That felt like my sister died, like Uriah died, right? Quote unquote died. And for that to happen, it was like a miracle. Like I feel like God like totally showed me. She fully apologized, fully took responsibility, did not blame me for any of it. Like that's never happened before. You know what I mean? Like I've always felt like the one that has to go fix everything in relationships in my family because nobody talks about anything. And now that I'm finally starting to talk about stuff and set boundaries with people, like it became an agent of healing and change and reconciliation like I never thought would happen. So, and then, yeah, like got to see my mom, haven't seen her for 2 years. So it was just big stuff happening in my life. And I'm so grateful for what you do here, the space you provide for healing. it changes people's lives, Nikki, like for real. And I'm so grateful, man. I just could not, I wouldn't be on this earth, man, if it wasn't for you. And I'm telling you, like, truly, I would not have stayed on this planet if it wasn't for you, Nikki. I'm so
feeling
grateful.
the need. I'm feeling the need to deflect that. So I'm just gonna say thank you.
No, dude, it's real. Like what you do, like who you are, like what you provide, the healing, the shit that you've gone through, your authenticness, like you're just a very real human being, and you allow for people to not be afraid of their darkness. And I've always been afraid of the shit that's been inside of me. And it's like I finally have finding ways to transmute that darkness, you know, and not be afraid of it anymore.
Well, I'm speechless. That doesn't happen to me very often. All right, that was a little bit of a deflection. Thank you, Jess. I don't have words for things like that, except for thank you. And I'm thankful for my experience. And this is part of why I wouldn't change what's happened. This is why I don't want to change my story, is because otherwise it wouldn't have led to knowing any of you, and the freedom that it gives me to be transparent and authentic, even when that pisses people off, because it does a lot. And
yeah, of course it does. Like, that's what it does. When you're authentic, and when I was being my authentic self with my family, they're like, okay, we don't want to be around Jess, you know, like, and I'm like, oh, well, like, I can't be anything else anymore. Like, this is me, and it's okay. But what that does, it makes people look at their own shit, man, whether they like it or not, you know, it makes them start looking at, oh, well, this person's like being authentic and like really sharing openly with me. So and if they ever come to a realization, or if they ever heal or decide to or not, they will still see it, you know, and that's what pisses them off.
Yeah, it does. But, you know, there's so much freedom that comes in that too. And then you don't have to discern as much either, because who doesn't vibrate with you does fall away, right? And you don't have to spend so much time trying to control your outside relationships either, which is nice. You know, that feels better. But I appreciate that, Jess. You know, you know what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say you're the one doing the hard work. I'm just here with my hand out. But, you know, maybe sometimes I don't realize how important the handout is. Having the hand.
It's so vital, Nikki. I can't emphasize that enough. And I hope that you'll like really receive it and know you're a very powerful being, and you're an agent of love and change, and you do it in a way that like it just fucking challenges people, you know. It does. It makes you want to step up and like go to the next level.
Rub it in, Nikki.
That's
like
terrifying.
No, rub it in like to your spirit. It's the truth. She's speaking the truth to you, like embrace. And it's not because you're some incredible whatever. It's because you're being a channel. It's because you're being you. Like, rub it in, accept it, like let it rise up. And then all that money that's coming to you will come when you stop being like, no, that's not. Rub it in.
I know. I'm working on it, Caroline.
I know. I'm just telling you, it is the Jess is speaking the truth to you, like the flat out truth. It's the truth.
No, I fucking love you so much.
It is.
I want to be my authentic self. Damn, you know what I mean?
And,
it's like,
and I will tell you, it is powerful for me to hear, because I'm at a point where I'm like, am I supposed to keep doing this, or am I not supposed
hell
to be
yes,
doing
you
this
are.
anymore? So that is validating and affirming to me, and is probably being said because it's something that I need to hear, because I feel like I'm at a crossroads, quite honestly. So thank you.
You know what, Nikki? You go through this like once a year. Should I keep doing this? Where am I supposed to be in my life? And look at all the people you have touched and helped and healed. And yes, we all do the work, but we couldn't do it without you. That's how I feel.
Yeah, 100% right, Bernie. We could not do this without you. Went through fire, sister, and like you know, I think I love this, you know, I come from Christian background for some of you that don't know. I still hold on to some of those traditions, but my favorite story is where the Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego go into the fire.
Yep.
And
Yep.
they didn't get burned up, you know?
Yep.
That you are the living embodiment of that, so that we can be that
Yep.
too, so that we can go through the fire and that we don't get burned up either,
Right.
you know, and we come out in a purified version so that we can go out into the world and shine our light. And
Right.
that's how the world heals
Right.
and changes. You know, and that's what I'm
Right.
so aware of, Nikki. Like, I'm so
Yes.
fucking aware of it. I've been getting downloads like nobody's business lately. And the things I'm seeing, like when we look at the world and we see these crazy polarities that are going on right now, like I listened to a podcast the other day, and he was this guy, he's a real agent of change and like uniting the polarities, because listen, we're all different. We all got different ideas and views, and that's what makes us great, because human beings are different and we're supposed to be boring if we were all the same. And yet we're the divisiveness and the fighting and it's causing more of a rent in humanity. But like, if we can come together and do our work and heal, we can go out in whatever agents of change that God's put us all in, and all these different roles that we all play. Like, we can be like the fuller versions of ourselves once we heal this wound. Like, I mean, I'm really aware of that, like really fucking aware of that right now. And that was part of what I was just go real quick with, like the mantra that I came up with is that I'm an alchemist of darkness into light. I am a bridge in which allows love to flow from heaven to earth. I am a divine agent of forgiveness and reconciliation. And that's what I've really seen, like with my family especially, is like, we all fuck up, we all do crazy things. I see why my sister said what she said to me now. Like, she was hurting. It came from a super dark, hurting place. And she was sharing with me all of her darkness and how evil she felt since Uriah died. And I was like, dude, you're not evil. Like, let me help you, you know? So I understand it wasn't about me. And she shared that specifically. What she said to me wasn't about me. It was about her pain and suffering. And that's why she vomited it all out of me, because I was her safe person, you know?
Exactly.
And I think once we can really see that, and that doesn't mean we're all going to be best friends either. I'm aware of that too. But I have a heart to start trying to have a relationship with her again. So I don't want anybody to like take this away as like, oh, I have to be best friends with a murderer or whatever. But the forgiveness is really for us, man. And people are just, they're suffering and they're in pain. And that's why we keep seeing this shit in the world. So when we can work on that and fix that and heal that, that is literally how we change this place, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why when people have said, I'm so appalled that my mother still gets appalled that I don't hate Bobby. I don't hate Bobby because that takes away from me. I have forgiven him and I continually forgive him. It doesn't mean I don't set a boundary. It doesn't mean I don't see him for who he is. It means that I'm not expending my power to hold on to malice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's very, very freeing. Learning to forgive people is very freeing. You can still set the boundary, or you can rebuild the relationship, or you allow that relationship to be whatever it can be at whatever given time it is, right?
Totally.
So,
yeah.
Absolutely. But
that's
thank you.
huge.
And you know, Bernie, you're right. I actually do this about twice a year. This actually comes up twice a year, and it is a level of my healing and my self-worth and my self-doubt and my, you know, all my shadowy shit, you know. So, and it usually starts January into February after my birthday is when it seems to really come to a head for me every year, which is, you know, that makes for fun birthdays. But so it is. So I appreciate Jess. That's extremely healing for me as I move into my season of shadow, apparently. Seems to happen the first of the year and sometime usually towards the last half of the year. So those are my big leveling up phases. So, but that is, I mean, it comes at the perfect time for me because again, I am saying to myself, you know, where's your place at, Nikki? What are you supposed to be doing? So, you know, so I appreciate that as well.
Yeah, you're so welcome, man. And I'll always be your cheerleader. I will. I'll always be in your
Okay.
corner. I'll be your cheerleader. If you need to be reminded, I'm here. Like, and I think we can all say that, that we help each other heal, and you help us and we're going to help you. And, who knows, there may come a day when a lot of this changes for you. It shifts, it's different, it's new kind of work or whatever, but you're definitely always going to be like an agent of change for folks that are suffering. Like that's no matter what, who your clients are or whatever, like that. I see that for you so much,
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. I've always been of service in some capacity, usually. So, and that's where I thrive at and that's where I excel at. So for me this year, it's about learning to be receptive to that. And so, yes, I do need reminded. And probably if you decide to reach out and remind me, you will have to then reiterate it with stop deflecting it, Nikki. And like Caroline said, just rub it in. Because otherwise I'll be like, thank you. And then I may run to the bathroom and puke.
Receive it.
Self-awareness.
Well, I wrote down, I haven't worked on my vision board. Like the kids just left. It's been nuts.
That's okay. I haven't worked on mine yet either.
I've got a lot of ideas, but I did write out my intentions for this year. Definitely getting fit. My butt has put on so much weight I've been cooking and eating and zero.
If only we all lived around each other, then we could form a warrior get fit group.
Oh my God, please. I'm ready. Getting fit, eating healthy. Definitely, I'm actually next week, I'm going to be doing a detox, a major, no sugar, just.
You and me both. I'm doing a 60-hour. I'm doing a 60. You want to do a 60-hour fast with me next week?
Well, how about a day? I actually am going to fast. It's just, I'm going to do one day. So,
yeah.
But yeah, doing that. This is the other thing that I'm super feeling stoked on is fully coming into what is my mission? Like I've had lots of different missions over my life. I love helping people. I've always done healing in some capacity. What does that really look like? What do I really want to do with that? I loved what Debbie said, what she shared about like, I don't want a job. I need a job. Like I need money. That's a big thing right now. But I also I've had so many bullshit jobs. I don't want to do that anymore. So, so even though I'm really tight, I want it to be soul work. I loved what she said. So I'm borrowing that, Debbie, soul work. Another big goal for our family is getting Uriah's gravestone. We went down there to Indiana. He's buried in Indiana, and it feels sad. I don't like going to his grave. I've got an altar in my house that I love and meditate and burn candles and light incense around. But the kids were like, Mom, his grave looks so sad. And I'm like, God. So they're just freaking expensive, so we're going to start a savings account and just start putting money into that every month, a little bit as we can. And just hopefully we can get it by the end of this year. That's my hope.
Why don't you fundraise for it too, Jess? You can set up a fundraiser like, I don't know, do you guys have Mazzio's Pizza there or Buffalo Wild Wings?
Yeah, I think so. I think we do.
You can set up small personal fundraisers with them.
Really?
Look into this. Yeah, small personal fundraisers with them and hopefully if we are able to fundraise more, we can look at WPU to obviously try to help with that as well. But you can set up small personal fundraisers with places like that, where they'll have like one night where you hand out flyers to everybody come, and then you can get a percentage of that to go to Uriah's Headstone Fund or whatever it looks like. So look at some of those things too.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at some of those things too. And another thing is I don't have like leaves cremated, right? So we didn't have to deal with that part of it. But I know for my grandmother's, she didn't have life insurance or anything either. So instead of a full-blown headstone, what we did is we found a granite place, and we purchased a slab of granite, and we took it and had it engraved, and they let us place that there for her headstone. And it was
Mhm.
like $600. So
Mhm.
it wasn't like $5, $6, $10,
Yeah.
$12,000, you
The
know.
ones that like, and they have certain regulations at this place, so
Find out what they are.
yeah, they do donate the foundation part if you have a child that's
Mhm.
buried there. So that part's covered, but it's about $4,000. I was shocked. Like I had no
That's just
idea it was
insane to me.
gonna
That's
be
just
that much.
yeah, it's insane to me. The funeral business, that is big business, man. It is big business. Part
And
of
you don't
what I've
think
been
about it
doing.
with your kid,
Yeah,
like you don't get insurance. Like I don't know. You just it's nuts to me.
I know. But message me and I'll go over some of that stuff that I've learned from helping other families navigate
Okay.
that. And we'll see what that looks like too, because you know, the cut and dry, the funeral homes can say, oh, it's this much, you have to have this, da, da, da." It's not true. You know, knowing what I know now, I could have saved so much money with just Leaf's viewing and his cremation, and you know,
Yeah.
and I was already saving money. Like I didn't buy an $800 urn from them. I went to a thrift store and found an old pottery lamp, and that's what his main urn is. So there are ways that you can navigate and still come up with beautiful things for him. So message me
Yeah.
and we'll do some research and see, you know, what can be done as well.
That would be awesome, Nikki. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And then the other thing I wrote was working on deepening being present. Because what I've found, like, especially this whole time with family, especially with the kids and Samara coming out from California, it was like, I was so present. And that's when the signs were just like flowing, you know, like.
I hate to say I told you so, but I think I told you so.
Yeah, like it was like, again, I wasn't specifically even asking Uriah for signs.
Nope,
It was
you
just,
don't have
I was
to.
so grateful and happy just to be with my kids and watching them laugh. Like I was watching them, how they were telling silly jokes and being very observant of every moment. Like I was just soaking it in like a sponge.
So
And I'm like,
your vibration was higher because you were present and aware in that moment. And that's when they go whoosh.
yes.
And it's not even that he hasn't been sending them, it's that you haven't been a vibrational match of the awareness of it.
Totally.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
My vibe was so high. Like it's kind of almost this transcendent kind of feeling, you know, like you're just like really in this moment. I'm like, this is all that matters is this moment right now. Like that's like, this is it.
That's the cream of the crop right there. That's where it's at. And in those moments is when you're actually sitting in full surrender as well.
Yeah. And I want more of that. I want to keep practicing that. I've been doing that since the kids left, and my vibes continue to say hi. I was a little sad about, you know, my daughter leaving, but I'm like, we're going to see her again. So it's okay. They're planning on coming again in March. So I didn't have that crazy dip, you know, I've been maintaining this very higher vibe, which has been awesome, you know.
That's awesome. Learning to stand in your own vibration and shift when you need to shift to stand in your own higher vibration. That's perfect. That's the name of the game, girl.
I know. And now I just got to get the food on board, because then I think, like, well, hell, if I'm eating good, like my vibe's going to be like to the moon, you know,
soaring through the clouds. And then everybody's going to be like just as manic. But you know
to get
what?
on meds, no.
Well, because I mean, you will find though, people be like, why is just so happy? You're like, why is, you know what I mean? Because it's so out, it'll be so out of the ordinary. And I've had people say that to me. I think you're manic, Nikki. I think you need on meds. No, I just understand how to get to a high vibration now.
Yeah. And I know what manic is. Like my eldest sister was bipolar, and like, this is not that. It's like, no, I feel so grounded and steady and
right. That's the high flying disc that you'll hear Abraham Hicks talk about a lot. The high flying disc, that's what they're talking about, is that space.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's been really cool. Yay!
Now,
even though I look crazy.
When you come off the high flying disc, just remember to tell yourself that you can get back on the high flying disc naturally, but you will still have to come down to learn lessons you're supposed to learn too. And that's okay.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. I think it was going through that really dark dip, you know, because there was stuff that needed to be figured out. And I understand those ebbs and flows a lot more now that, oh,
Good.
I'm dipping down. There's stuff I need to work on. I'll get back up again, you know?
Perfect. Perfect. That's the key, you guys, is knowing that this is ebb and flow and that darkness comes before light, even when it doesn't get as dark as what it has gotten for us at any given time, right? It's less dark and less light seemingly, but that's just because the contrast is not as stark as what it was when the kids left body. But it will always ebb and flow. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm in an ebb and flow right now because Earth life is crazy and unsettled here, and finances and this and that. You know what I mean? But I'm not letting it. I mean, I'm staying completely grounded with it, right? I'm not like laying in the bed and oh my God, what are we gonna do? You know, I'm surrendering to it. So you just keep doing that and you stay in that knowing, because it's not natural to be on the high flying disc all the time. We wouldn't be in a body if that's how we were supposed to live, right? So I think that's wonderful. These revelations you're having, those are ones that are going to serve you not in your just in your grief journey, but in your journey to your highest self and living in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I really see that. I mean, it's night and day. Like Christmas this year, it's night and day from what I've had the past 2 Christmases, you know, that Uriah left body.
Huge win.
Yeah.
Huge win.
And I remember I remember on New Year's Eve, I was like, I can't go into another year without him, quote unquote, you know, like I did not feel that this time. Like it was not even there. And I'm like, he's with me. You know, he's here.
Yeah, exactly. That's
So
powerful stuff.
Yeah, huge, huge. The other thing that I wrote was I want to read at least 2 books. I am terrible since he passed about my train of thought, focusing. I would read half a book and put it down because I couldn't track and focus. I am gonna finish 2 books this year. I'm doing it in a whole year. So
perfect.
Small goal, you know, that might not seem like much, but I used to be an avid book reader and I don't know, I just grief brain got weird and couldn't focus.
I was an avid reader too. And you know, I'm not much of an avid reader. Now I read in snippets and it's mostly online stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I still have all my books because if I want to read them, but I also have learned not to beat myself up that I'm not an avid reader anymore. Like I've also learned not to do that because now looking back, I can see that I read so much because it was an escape for me from my married life. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It wasn't necessarily a healthy thing that I was an avid reader. So it's, you know, you can, I don't think that saying I'm going to read 2 books is a small goal. I think that's a big goal. And I think it's a healthy balance and a healthy boundary for you too.
I love podcasts. Like I'm still a researcher. It's just changed like the way I research, I guess. And because my attention felt so short and squirreling all the time, you know? So,
of course.
Yeah, whatever the ADHD has just kicked in 10 times, you know, after he passed.
Yeah, mine too. Instead of knocking myself down about it, I just find ways to utilize it in my favor now.
Yeah.
You know, like,
but I
go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I have like so many books I really want to read and are like, oh man, this one looks so interesting. And so now I'm finally like, okay, I'm just going to pick 2. And if it takes me a whole year to do it, whatever, you know, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. I love that.
And then my last thing was, I want to give back. Like I want to do in some fashion. I don't know what that is just yet. I know that that spirit will absolutely guide me to that, but I want to volunteer. I want to, not only do I want to, you know, I want to work for money, but I also want to do something that gives back in some way in my community or whatever that looks like. I don't know yet, but I really, really, I want to do that.
Beautiful.
So those are my intentions.
I think those are powerful, very powerful. And I think just bring something good to the table that nothing is small, you guys. Reading 2 books in 1 year, that's not a small intention. It's an intention. And that is the name of the game here, right? That's what utilizing to then set action behind, because it's healing and expanding and growing. It's about the intention and then the action steps you put behind it, right? So I think that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Way to go. Way to go.
Love all you guys. And I just thank you so much for everybody sharing the way they share. And yeah, couldn't do this journey without all of you awesome moms.
Absolutely. Back at you. Debbie, Wallace, and Pam, you two are the last two. You gonna go, Deb?
Come on, Pam. No, I'll go. I'm just kidding. Everything that Jess said and more about you, Nikki.
Thank you.
My holidays, you know, my jaw was messed up. My turkey, I basted it so good that it was so tender I was able to eat. I ate like 2 plates. I was so hungry for real food. And I haven't done my board last year. I didn't do it till February. So, but
That's
I have
okay.
some stickers for it. I've been getting ideas. But, you know, I just had to let stuff go, that I wasn't going to get to Georgia. I wasn't going to see my little grandkids. You know, I just kind of like accepted it and went with the flow, you know.
Yay, that's
His son just
big.
had a birthday. Yeah, I went back to the Marines and I had to deal with Rodney's ex and her boyfriend, and I did really great. You know, I hugged her and oh Lord. So yeah, it wasn't bad. I didn't do that all the lights, you know, I just did some, but you know, I feel good that what I did. But the thing is now when I'm looking at Christmas stuff, I'm like, I'm so sick of it. I want like it out of my sight. All of a sudden I see it and I'm like, I just want it out of my sight. I want to rip the lights off the bush. I was like, no, you can't do that. You're going to break them. But yeah, I got the urge to do that. So anyways, yeah, I'd like to exercise, eat better, heal all my pain, get the garden pretty, do fun things with Nikki, like the thing at Gulfport. What's that thing? Mind, Body, and Spirit. I always miss them.
Kat's gonna, I think Kat and I are gonna have a table with that, Debbie.
Are you?
Yep. I think we're already registered, actually.
Really? Oh, cool.
So at the casino.
It's next Saturday.
It's the 22nd. We're doing the one on the 22nd in Gulfport.
Okay. Huh. Isn't there one like next Saturday, the 6th? There
I don't know.
at the casino? Okay.
No, I think
well, maybe I'm wrong.
It's on the 22nd. We need to check that
Okay.
because now I'm worried.
I'm pretty sure, but I'm not positive.
We'll find it.
So-
We'll figure it out.
Anyways, I want to go riding horseback on the beach in Bradenton.
Oh God, are you gonna make me do that this year?
Probably.
I feel like I'm gonna be made to do that this year.
Once my back feels better, I'm going to be riding my bicycle. That's $500. I've ridden twice. It's sitting in the garage. Yeah, I'm just trying to picture it, trying to manifest it. You know what I mean? I'm trying to picture it in my mind. I want a Mustang convertible again. I'd like that car. I like to drive up Gulf Boulevard with my hair blowing. That's about it. I'm really tired. I want my jaw to heal up. It's much better, but it's still messed up. And that's pretty much it, Nikki. But yes, don't ever stop what you're doing, even if it's like for a hobby. I'm just kidding about the hobby, but I'm just saying, don't stop. Don't give up, you know. Like you always say, you're just like leveling up, and then you know how it is. Yours is just different. Because you're you, and so your levels are bigger and harder. But anyways, okay, I said too much, but thank you, Nikki. Thank you for everybody. Just knowing that it was there, and I for one, I did like the mediums, of course. I love the mediums, and the light keeps flashing over here. It's kind of funny. The night light, it's going on and off and on and off. And
Hello,
And then I
children.
felt tingling on the top of my head, which I don't usually feel. Usually it's back here, but on the top of my head. So anyways, yes, and tonight I'm going to practice mediumship again. So I'm going to try that again, and I'll be taking Reiki too. So I got
Nice.
plans. And Jess, I used to work at a granite company that did kitchens and fireplaces and bathrooms and all that for 23 years. And if you go, they have scraps and they can build it up. It's only like 3/4 or 1.25 inches, but they build up the edges. And they have water jet machines that they could copy anything, engrave it like with water and all that, etch it. So that, to me, I couldn't imagine it would be $4,000 for something like that, because you're cut the middleman.
Can
You know what I
get her
mean?
Can you get her some information over that and send it to her, Debbie? Just like what that process would be, where she would go to find that and that sort of thing. Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Can you message her some information about like where she would go and what she would ask them and things like that, so she'll be able to research that? Am I frozen?
No, but I
Okay.
couldn't hear for a minute. So, but anyways, I was done. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Debbie. Thank you. I'll message you, Debs.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. We love you. All right, Pamela.
Love y'all too.
You're the last of the bunch, darling.
I came late. I was so excited I was going to be early. And then it said 2 p.m. Eastern. I went, shit, it's 3 here.
I threw y'all for a loop.
Well, you sure did.
So
I'm sorry I came late. I don't know what I missed, but
No,
I'll
you're
watch the
okay.
replay. I'll watch
We're
the replay.
all we're talking about, Pam, is your takeaways from the program,
Yeah.
your intentions for 2022, your mantra that you picked for 2022, if you picked one, and we were sharing vision boards if you got stuff for it. If you didn't, that's no big deal either.
I was actually doing my vision board.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, but yeah, I'm glad Christmas is over. Thank you for this group. I wouldn't be here. I've heard the other ladies say it all, and I agree. I wouldn't be here either if it wouldn't be for your classes. So please keep having them. It's helped so much. I reference you a lot to people, just close people. I don't have a lot of, people, but just close family, my family. I'll say, well, Nikki said this or Nikki said that. So
all of your families probably think I'm insane.
No. I mean, it's just, no, it's just helped a lot. And it was great to level up because I was really low. And it just was so nice to level up. And
do you feel like your
thank you for that.
vibration's higher now,
Yes.
Pam?
Yes.
Good. Yay.
Yeah. So, you still get those moments, but that's how it is. So,
right.
And I didn't, I was invited to go to a New Year's Eve thing just with two other couples, and I turned them down. And we're really good friends, but they don't believe what I believe. And I just thought, I told my husband, I said, I can't sit there and listen to their shit. I just can't do it. I said, it'd be different if we, what was that?
I said, and that's okay. And Pam, it may not always be that way, but for right now, you're like, I don't vibrate with that. And that's perfectly okay.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't go. Normally I probably would have gone, but I just said, no, and then the one lady said to me, oh, so you mean you're just going to sit there and be sad?
Oh, you say,
I said,
well, I'm going to
sure.
drive over and kick your ass before I sit there and be sad.
I know. I just thought, I'm not going to argue. I just went, sure.
Yeah.
Because they don't get it anyways.
Right. I love that you did that and that you're just like, whatever you want to think, because you're right. You can try to speak to them about it and they're not going to get it anyway. So why waste your breath, right? Let them think what they
Yeah.
want to think. Yeah.
Right. And that's what they thought. And so I'm sure they think I was stewing in my sadness, but that's not the case. So,
Good. Perfect.
but it's just, my husband's brother called him and said, "Did you have a good Christmas?" And we were like, "What?" We just don't understand people. I mean, he was there in the room after Brandon had passed. He was with us. Why on Christmas Day? Why would he think? So it's hard, you just gotta let go, let go, let go. But anyway, it's just been nice to level up, and thank you so much, and everyone in the group. And yeah, I hope. Are you planning to have more classes, maybe? Or
I think that the message is in the bag that there will probably be more classes soon. Yes, I
Okay.
will. I'll plan. I'll probably take a couple weeks off because I do need to work side job for a little bit to
Well,
get
of
some stuff
course.
built back up. But I'll try to plan one for the end of January, 1st of February. How does that sound? Does that sound good for everybody? Okay. Okay. Yes. So we will do more classes. And if I put them out there, y'all have to sign up. Now you're all obligated to sign up. How's that for advertising? So yeah, absolutely. I will plan one. One of the things I told everybody, Pam, is I'm going to put up a post for you guys to I know I put one up for classes, but since it's really like housekeeping stuff, what you guys want to work on. We can do some open discussion classes too, where it's open forum and we work on whatever comes up. We can do some targeted ones. So I'm going to kind of let you guys guide that and you and Spirit guide that, okay? Because it's kind of just gotten for me where I'm like, I don't really know what everybody needs because, at any given point, everybody's on a different part of their journey, but then they overlap. So I'm going to let you guys guide that more this year. I'll do the classes. I just need to know what content you guys want. You know what I mean? So, because you guys know where you're at better than where I know where you're at a lot of the times. So, yes, Pam, I will. And I'm glad you got through Christmas. And something I want you to take away, and I know it's really, really hard because that is Brandon's Angel Day as well as Christmas. But you know what? My hope for you is that you guys can get to where somebody says, well, did you have a nice Christmas? And you can say, you know what? We actually did. That's my hope for you. And I think as much healing as you're working on, I think that that's completely a goal that can be met for you in upcoming years. So just know that I see that in you. I see that possibility in you. Okay, guys, I just want to say to each of you, thank you for trusting me. Like I said, I still get like mind blown that this is what I do and that this space does impact you guys so much. I think sometimes it gets lost on me and I get in my own shadow. So I appreciate the validation as much as I don't like the validation, as much as I need the validation. You guys also help heal me in my own shadow wounds, my shadow wounds of being deserving and being validated and, also needing to be seen without feeling bad that I'm human. And I also want to be validated, need to be seen and being receiving of that. So I appreciate you guys in that regard a lot. Your healing is extremely inspiring to me. It does keep me humble because it reminds me of where I came from and the tremendous amount of work that I've done and that I continue to try to do on myself. So I appreciate all of you as well. And I definitely take everything that you guys say to heart. What I do want to do is I do want to put the post up to see what you guys want as far as the services that I offer. If you are wanting oracle card classes or divination tool classes or shadow work classes or shifting death classes. Shifting death classes, that's the one where we work on guilt and anger and shame and all that earth business. And the thing about that is it's not just shifting death, it's shifting, we can take that and we can use it in the context of whatever we're working with at that time, right? Whether it be other people in our lives or you know, other situations in our lives that the grief journey has brought to the forefront. So I definitely want to know what you guys want to do in 2022 as far as that goes. I'm not great, again, at advertising, obviously. So if you guys, I don't know if you can even put a review on my business page anymore. Facebook changes everything, and I don't know if you can do that or not. If you can figure out how to do it and you feel like you want to do that, that would be lovely as well. You can also do a shout out in the big group, just so we have so many people, new people in the big group. And I quite honestly haven't been able to work it as much as I used to work it. That's something I have to get back on in 2022. So not just about me, but about your healing and about the classes and the programs and being friends with each other and the healing you get from each other. Because I think a lot of the new people come in, they don't exactly understand how the collective energy of the tribe works and how engaging within that, not just in classes, right, but just engaging in the healing of the big group too, is beneficial. So anything you guys can share about your journey along the way inspires other people, and it extends a hand to them to let them know that there is a way out of the darkness. It's exhausting, yes, it's a hell of a lot of work, but there is a way out. That's what the big group brings to the table. It allows hope to bloom and unfold. And if people are led to take classes, that's great too. But more importantly, just letting those new people know that, hey, there is healing. Like, I'm living proof of it, right? Because all the time I'm saying, I'm living proof. And they're like, well, who the hell are you? You know, like, you're one person. So if 30 of us are in there saying, hey, I feel peace, I'm having joy, I am healing, that's very, very powerful, right? Very, very powerful. So I just want to thank you guys again for hanging with me in my transparent authenticity, which isn't always politically correct, and loving me for who I am, even with my foul mouth and my gum chewing. And I'm so glad that you guys decided to heal with us again this year. You know, I'll do whatever you guys want me to do. I'm here to be of service. So if you have ideas, you know, I know Debbie Wallace has given me some ideas for some pop-up classes that she would like to see. So if you have ideas that you want, let me know. I'm open. So you hate that gum chewing? You know what you would hate more? Me in a nicotine withdrawal fit getting really damn mean. That's what you would hate more than my gum chomping, because this is my Nicorette. So in fact, this morning I didn't chew any yesterday, and this morning I was like, "Arr!" And Tom and I were like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I haven't had any nicotine in my bloodstream 24 hours. Where's my gum? So, but all right, on that note, I am going to draw cards from the Oracle Goddess. We're going to see what they have to say. It's the Oracle Goddess deck. I don't know if you guys can see it. The Goddess Oracle. So that's where we're going to go. Split them. Top left. And one off top right. Okay, here's what we've drawn. Kuan Yin, which is compassion. You can't see it because of the way my settings are. So let's find this one. And I've not used this deck a whole lot, so bear with me on finding them. Wonder if these are in alphabetical order. No. Oh, okay. Here she is. All right. I made the vow and kept my word. I reached enlightenment, but rather than pass over to the state of eternal bliss, I retained human form till all beings attained enlightenment. Keeping human form enabled me to know more deeply the pain others experience because of my deep feelings, because of my understanding of misery and suffering, because of my decision. I am called the compassionate one. She whose name alleviates all suffering. But wouldn't you prefer to wait, feelings what others feel, sufferings about what others suffer, knowing their pain is your own? Wait till the end of all suffering and pain, till all beings attain enlightenment. For me, there was no other choice. That's very fitting to everybody here, I think. Mythology. Kuan Yin, or she who hears the weeping world, is the Chinese Buddhist I can't say this, Bodhisattva of compassion. Just can probably actually know that more than me. She lives on her island of paradise, where she is said to grant every prayer she hears. She is so powerful that even the mention of her name will ease suffering and hardship. Choosing to remain in this world after having attained enlightenment, Kuan Yin has vowed to retain human form until all beings attain enlightenment. In Japan, she is known as Kwanan. The meaning of the card. She appears mercifully in your life to tell you it is time to nurture wholeness with compassion. Compassion for others, compassion for your loved ones, compassion for yourself. Do you find yourself feeling irritated or apathetic to the suffering of others? What keeps you from your compassion? Do you allow yourself space and ease when you are less than your idea of perfect? Do you find yourself wanting to hurt others because you have been hurt? Do you fear opening your heart to the plight of others because it will hurt you? Compassion is the ability to listen deeply and allows others and yourself the space to go through what needs to be gone through and to feel what needs to be felt. Kuan Yin says that the way to alleviate your suffering is to develop compassion for yourself. From the compassionate place within, you can manifest compassion without. The suggested ritual, the journey to Kuan Yin. Find a time and a place where you will not be disturbed. Sit or lie comfortably with your spine straight and close your eyes. Take a deep breath and release it slowly. Then take another breath, breathing deeply into your heart space and release it slowly while feeling your heart expand. Take a deep breath and release it with a sigh from your heart. See, sense, or feel yourself inside your heart. Hear your heartbeat pulsing around you. Inside your heart is a rainbow bridge. You step onto that rainbow bridge and begin to cross the great waters. As you travel the bridge, you become more and more relaxed. The great waters are serene and calming. The bridge itself is a delight to walk on. The air is refreshing and pleasant. On the other side of the rainbow bridge lies Kuan Yin's island paradise. She greets you as you arrive and hands you a beautiful flower. As you inhale the flower's fragrance, you feel your heart open. She takes you by the hand and leads you through the rich, lush, fragrant vegetation to her pavilion. After seeing you with care and consideration, she washes your feet and then serves you what you need to be served. She asks you to tell your troubles, and you do. She listens deeply and attentively. You feel nourished and loved at the very core of your being. You feel completely and utterly heard, seen, and listened to. It feels wonderful and deeply healing. You feel lighter and more ease with yourself. Sit with Kuan Yin until you are ready to return. She takes you back to the rainbow bridge and embraces you. You thank her and begin your way across the bridge, feeling recharged and revitalized. The trip back across the bridge is short and you arrive back into your heart. Take a deep breath, and as you release it, you come back into your body. Take another deep breath, and as you release it, you open your eyes. Welcome back. Well, that was very fitting. The other one I pulled, and I heard to pull off the top as well, is Aphrodite, and that is love. So let's look at her. And I'll post these in the group too. Kuan Yin was pretty on point, I'd say. Aphrodite, love. When I open my heart, I am filled with delight so profound, with ecstasy so sweet, with pleasure so deep, that connecting with my beloved takes me to all places. And the union plays rhapsodies in my soul. I can achieve union when I achieve oneness with myself. I can dance partnership when I can dance alone. I can love one another, or I can love another when I can love myself. Mythology. Ancient Mediterranean mother goddess traveled to Greece with the Greeks colonized Canaan. The Greeks say Aphrodite was born of the union of the sky and the fertile sea womb. When the castrated penis of the former sky god Uranus fell into the ocean, although traditionally revered in all her multi-genius aspects, including battle, the Greeks, in their effort to assimilate her, relegated her to a love goddess. When she arrived at Olympus, Zeus, the chief god, married her to, I cannot read that, Hephaestus? I'm not familiar with him, the lame god of smithcraft. He made her exquisite jewelry, but she preferred the passionate Ares, god of war, in her bed. Meaning of the card. Aphrodite is here with her dance of love, inviting you to luxuriate, bask, and revel in love itself. Do you spend the day without thinking or saying how much you love yourself? Do you do little loving things for yourself? Or are you misery, keeping yourself on a diet of starvation rations? Do you listen to your words in a loving, respectful way? Or do you criticize yourself for balking at the schedule you keep, for complaining about the job you hate, for bemoaning the relationship that you continue to endure? Now is the time to love yourself. Aphrodite says that to be able to love another, you must be able to love you. Loving others means being able to allow them to be exactly as they are. It means witnessing yourself and your loved ones with love, amusement, and delight. The amount of space we can allow another is dependent on the amount of space we can allow for ourselves. I really like that. The amount of space that we can allow for another is the amount of space that we can allow for ourselves. That may be my new mantra for this upcoming year. Wholeness is achieved when we can hold infinite space and patience for ourselves first and then extend it out to others. The ritual suggestion is it can be done anytime, anywhere, for as long as you feel appropriate. Take a deep breath and release it. And you guys can do this while I'm reading it if you want. Take a deep breath and release it. Take another deep breath, and as you release it, feel, sense, or see a circle of space around you. It can be any amount of space that you need. Now fill that space with love in any form that pleases, delights, or tickles you or makes you feel good. Once the circle is filled, put yourself in the center of the circle, in the middle of all of that love. Take it into your cells and into the marrow of your bones. Take it in whether or not you feel you deserve it. Take it in. That one may have been for me. Take it in regardless of how you feel about yourself. See, sense, or feel yourself filling with love for you. As you are holding the space for you, look into your own eyes and say, I love you. Keep repeating it over and over until you feel your love for yourself dancing in your heart. Feel the love circulate through your body. Now take a deep breath, exhale slowly, and open your eyes. Welcome back. I think those are some very powerful ones to end our holiday program on. You know, especially since a lot of us are working on setting boundaries to actually hold space for ourselves as well as other people. So I think these are very powerful. All right, ladies, let's do our closing. Once again, just know that when we leave the sacred space, we're still all connected. We still all love each other. Please friend request each other, reach out to each other. If you want to do private sessions, reach out to me. If you have private sessions in your bank already, as some of you do, reach out to me. We can get some stuff set up for whatever it is you want to work on. And other than that, let's go ahead and take a nice big deep breath. And exhale. Close your eyes. And repeat after me. Archangel Michael.
Archangel Michael.
Archangel Azrael.
Archangel Azrael.
We want to thank you.
We want to thank you
for guiding us through this sacred space.
For guiding us through this sacred space.
Of healing and into a new year.
Of healing and entering a new year.
We ask that you please come down.
We ask that you please come down.
And cut all energetic cords.
and cut all energetic cords,
any toxic strings from 2021
any toxic strings from 2021
that drain us of our vibration,
that drain us of our vibration,
that do not serve our healing
that do not serve our healing
and our highest purpose.
and our highest purpose.
We ask you to illuminate
We ask you to illuminate
any of our own toxic behaviors
any of our own toxic behaviors
that we need to heal and work through in the coming year.
that we need to heal and work through in the coming year.
We ask for your guidance to do that with ease.
We ask for your guidance to do that with ease.
Please pour down on us,
Please pour down on us,
surround us and protect us
surround us and protect us
in divine white light,
in divine white light,
compassion and love.
compassion and love.
Thank you, and so it is.
Thank you, and so it is.
All right. Get that energy moving through your hands. Move it. Nice big deep breath. Palms up. This is you calling your power back in 2022. I want you to say it assertively, like the rising phoenix. Deep breath in and exhale. Go ahead, Bernie, lead the way, girl.
I take my power back in 2022.
I take my power back for 2022. I want you to see those beams of light coming in from each other, from all over the world, from anybody you've been in contact with. Watch all those beams of light come and center into the palms of your hands, where it gets warm and it turns into liquid light. That personal power that connects you to source, to God, to universe, to spirit, flows down into your arms, into the elbows, filling the body cavity into your upper arms and shoulders. You may start to feel flushed as it fills the cavity of your heart space, opening the chakras up through your neck and into your head space, illuminating your third eye and your crown chakra. It flows back down through your heart space, through the chest, the lung areas, the ribs, healing any dis-ease as it flows through you, down into the abdomen, through the hips, the pelvic girdle and the buttocks, loosening muscles. It glows as it flows down into the thighs and the knees, filling the calves through the ankles, pooling in the heels where it flows through the tips of the toes. Get a good, strong visual of that light pulsating and filling your entire being. Again, that is your divine power, your birthright of spirit, your connectedness to source, to God, to universe. It's healing to you. It empowers you to keep rising. Once you see it and feel it, claim it and thank it with, and so it is.
And so it is.
All right, ladies, thank you again for trusting me. You know where to find me if you need me. I'm sending you all hope and healing and love for 2022. And I just can't thank any of you enough for trusting me throughout the last 6 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank
love
you
you.
so much, Nikki.
You're welcome. I love you all.
I love all of you too.
Love you all. Thank you
Love
all.
you.
Thank you. Love you all.
Bye.
Thank you.